Sound to bar.
Ghosty.
Then I sent the message out telling all the fiends that
Trying to make rent, I was never home. Digital skills and a second phone. Blue cheese plants on my cheddar grow. Moved a little snow, that ain't nothing but the weather code. Hot-headed, but you better know I lead my team to the win like Keane into rim with that header though. I raised broke, so I really need some better goals. Instead of just dreams to share sheets with centerfolds. Still have nightmares, I letting metal blow. Got a couple brothers on the wing in that Beckham roll. Guess I turned an L to a lesson, bro. Cause I lost a lot of brothers that are looking on from heaven. So I'm lucky pouring liquor as I live another episode. Lungs looking like my liver lately. But I'm in love with this loud that I'm getting though. I set pace, listen out for the metronome.
Yes, people, and welcome back to Gav Goes In. Listen, guys, got a new person on tonight. You know, we've been going back and forth on Twitter. You know, he has been respectful, and you know, I appreciate him showing up. TMJ, man, how you doing, my guy? You good?
Good, man. Like, glad to be here. Thanks for making my debut here. Thank you, man. It's been a pleasure, man. I'm happy to be on the show, man. Hopefully, you can get some good takes, good jokes, and yeah, man, just get through these controversial takes. I'm here for the opinions, man.
Yeah, nah, big up, man. As I said, bro. As I said, people, we have been going back and forth, you know, because obviously what we're going to discuss today, you know, he's a big defender of certain players and I'm a big attacker of certain players. But I know, man, I do appreciate you obviously coming on camera because the first thing I'd say here is that it's all well and good, you know, having back and forth on a platform like Twitter. But I do believe, you know, having opinions, voice, whether you agree with it or not, is good, you know, in front of camera. And it's good to discuss, man, and that's what I enjoy doing. So, big up to yourself for coming on, man. You seen the news today about United,
bro? The Belabor news. I don't want to get too excited, but I had a feeling something was in the pipeline. I just didn't know if I didn't know which player we were going to target because obviously you've been hearing about Man Utd, you've been hearing about, for example, like Tyler Adams got mentioned, but I wasn't here for that. That was a no-no. Yeah. But Man Utd would have been one. Xander Burge at Fulham, he got mentioned as well. So something was happening with the last midfielder. But Belabor, if we get that over the line, which probably I think we will, that's a very good signing. I can't complain about that because he's got a lot of qualities. What you saying?
I agree, man. I mean, in terms of the Tyler Adams and, you know, Man Utd, I never thought those deals were going to happen. I just thought it was a lot of speculation. But in terms of Belabor, I mean, I'm not sure if you've seen my short or my stream from earlier today. Now, I was told at the start of the summer that United were definitely signing Belabor because I spoke to I remember ex-Man United right back called Paul Parker.
Yeah, I've heard it. Paul Parker.
So I've spoken to him a couple of times, and I asked him start of the summer, you know, what's the chances of United signing Belabor? And he has dealings with United still, and he told me, you know, he's got it off good recommendation that Belabor definitely signs for United. So I've always been confident in that sense anyway, you know. So it's good that it's good that, you know, we're looking to get this deal over the line, you know. It's positive news, man. Big up to Babs One Diva each and every time. Big up Gav and Guess. Yeah, big up. So it's TMJ, isn't it?
Yeah, TMJ_171. I just put back my Twitter handle in it. So that's usually me on all socials. So if you see that, that's me. But yeah, man.
Yeah, bro, no worries, man. What I'll do is that I'll put it in the description afterwards anyway. Get people to come over and follow you, man. So yeah, no worries. So yeah, it's TMJ. But yeah, no, big up for coming through. And guys, listen, we are going to be discussing, you know, certain Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford. And again, I do enjoy these conversations and, you know, everyone entitled to their opinion, but I like to have conversations and try and see if we can get a different angle at it as well. Big up to Foxy Danny as well. Big up yourself, says big up Gav and TMJ. So yeah, listen, what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to share my screen because I want to go through a couple of things and then we're going to discuss we're going to discuss, you know, obviously why you rate those players so highly. And, you know, what I like to do is just give a different angle and then to just see, you know, if you can see where I'm coming from in a sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've got a couple of things noted down as well, you know, and yeah, bro, listen, I come with the receipts, you know, I don't play about on it. But you have to, man. You have
no,
to.
You good, that's true, no, really, man.
If you're gonna talk, man, you got to back it up, innit? That's
100,
what I'm saying.
100%,
So,
100.
yeah. So what I'll do, yeah, I'm gonna share my screen now, and I'm gonna just run through, and then you know, yeah, then obviously I'll get your take on it after. And guys, if you got any questions or comments, then keep them coming through, and I'll get back to them after as well, whether they're for me or for TMJ, innit? So spare me 1 minute. So I'm gonna share my screen. The so-called Bruno Fernandes, a man that does divide opinion. Now, guys, the reason I've got this up here is because even, you know, on Twitter, I'm told, you know, we can't do without this guy's numbers, his goals and assists, etc. So yeah, I've got obviously his stats up, and then we've got Marcus Rashford as well. But let's focus on Bruno to start with. Yeah. Now, obviously, 19-20 season is when he came. I believe he came in January.
Yeah, January 19-20.
His numbers, you know, you can see Premier League, 14 appearances, 8 goals, 7 assists. And then in the Cups, 8 appearances, 4 goals, and 1 assist. So you would say, you know, in the Premier League, it looks decent, you know, having 15 GA in 14 appearances. You know, let's face it, there is penalties in there as well, you know, but you would say decent. 2021 season, Premier League, 37 appearances, 18 goals, 11 assists. Champions League, 6 appearances, 4 goals, 1 assist. Europa League, 9 appearances, 5 goals, and 5 assists. The Cup, 6 appearances, 1 goal, and 1 assist. So again, you'd probably say, yeah, his first 2 seasons when he came in, you know, fans looked at him as a breath of fresh air, and it does look quite decent, yeah? 21-22 season, 36 appearances, 10 goals, 6 assists. 7 appearances, Champions League, 7 appearances, 0 goals, 7 assists. FA Cup, 2 appearances, 0 goals, 0 assists. EFL Cup, 1 appearance, 0 goals, 0 assists. Then we move on to 2022-2023, 37 appearances in the league, 8 goals, 8 assists. Europa League, 11 appearances, 1 goal, 4 assists. FA Cup, 6 appearances, 3 goals, 0 assists. Carabao Cup, 5 appearances, 2 goals, 1 assist. 23-24, Premier League, 35 appearances, 10 goals, 8 assists. Champions League, 6 appearances, 2 goals, 2 assists. FA Cup, 6 appearances, 3 goals, 3 assists. Carabao, 1 appearance, 0 goals, 0 assists. 24-25, 36 appearances, 8 goals, 10 assists. Europa League, 14 appearances, 7 goals, 4 assists. FA Cup, 3 appearances, 2 goals, 1 assist. Carabao Cup, 3 appearances, 2 goals, 3 assists. And then obviously the season just gone. You know, people say it's a record-breaking season for him in terms of assists. So 35 appearances, 9 goals, and 21 assists. FA Cup, 1 appearance, 0 goals, 0 assists. And then the EFL Cup, 1 appearance, 0 goals, and 0 assists. Now, for me, yeah, what is important to look at these numbers, and I think we can both agree that his first 2 seasons, you know, he was quite consistent for numbers. And then you can see from 21-22, 22-23, 23-24, and even 24-25, in comparison to what he was doing at the start, he has dropped off. And then obviously his last season, you know, people would say it was a record-breaking season in terms of the assists. Yeah. Now, what I want to draw you towards is, again, just going through Bruno Fernandes. Now, the way that I like to look at things, yeah, is if you're going to be getting these numbers, and again, I'm not going to say it's all on Bruno because it is a team effort. But my theory is, yeah, I don't think we should be looking at Bruno because when everyone says what do you rate about Bruno, it's always he gets numbers. Yeah. Now, if you look at the how long he's been here, I believe he's been here 7 seasons.
Yeah, that's what
so for 7 seasons, highest paid player at the club. What he's got to show is 1 Carabao Cup win, 1 FA Cup win. Yeah. And he's got 1 assist in the FA Cup for a goal for Kobe Minu. So his 7 seasons at Manchester United, trophies won, Carabao and FA Cup. For me, is that acceptable? Not really. Am I saying it's all on Bruno? No, I'm not. But for someone that's getting paid 300 grand a week, you know, that literally plays more or less every game, literally has the captain's armband, you know, the penalty taker, the free kick taker, the corner taker, literally everything, does what he wants. Do I think an FA Cup and a Carabao Cup are acceptable? No. Moving on to, since he's been there, what's he lost in this at this club? Yeah, 2021 Europa League. He didn't show up there. 24-25 Europa League. Again, he was a no-show against Spurs. First one was Villarreal, both being captain as well. And then the FA Cup against Man City, again, was the captain. And he lost that as well. So my thing is, and I want to get your take on it as well.
Yeah.
Is just based on these numbers, yeah. Why do you think that Bruno Fernandes, why do you think he divides opinion, or why do you think he deserves to stay at this club and be persevered with, in your opinion?
Okay, so with Bruno, yeah, it's one of them things where he might divide opinion where, all right, cool, you get numbers, and he will, obviously, he's a consistent man, innit, in terms of he creates chances, he provides for others, he does score goals, he does create a big volume of chances, but I do feel he's better when he has runners in front of him, in terms of, i.e., in his first 2 seasons, well, first season or 2, he had Rashford on the left, Martial up front, and then Greenwood off the right. That's where I thought Bruno was at probably his best, in it, in terms of numbers, where you had players playing for each other and probably playing for him. But people kind of bring it to like aesthetics where, he's not a mad technical dribbler, in terms of, I don't know, someone like Bernardo Silva, for example. He's not like that elegant dribbler. He gets on the ball, he puts the ball forward. He likes to obviously take chances from distance. But it's like, it depends on what you like. With me, what I judge Bruno on is what we signed him for. We signed him for goal scoring and create chances. They even asked him after, what game was it? When we beat Bilbao away. Yeah. They asked him about Bruno and his goal scoring record and why he's so kind of not dependent, but it's a big part of his game. They said, the club signed me for my goal scoring record. I know that. So he knows what he's good at. And I rather players know what they're good at than just force things. Now, you might think Bruno forces chances, which he can do at times, which, all right, cool. It's not his best thing, in terms of, all right, cool. If he sees something, he will just do it. Like, I don't know, like he will ping a 30-yarder, which he knows he could do, but it doesn't always come off. But one thing I can rate with Bruno, that he's reliable, he is consistent in terms of putting up numbers and chance creation. As you did see this season, he broke the assist record, which has been there for God knows how long. And not even players like, all right, cool, De Bruyne tied it, but he didn't further it up. And he's in a better team with Man City. Like, you've got world-class players with Aguero, Haaland, Gundogan, Bernardo, Sane, Sterling. He's had all of these guys around him. Bruno has not had all of those players around him. Yeah, he's had good players, but not to the level of what Man City have been doing. And all right, cool, he hasn't won titles, but who has won titles in his current setup? So for what Bruno has done in this team, I can't fault him and say, you've been a dud player or not good enough, because, bro, I'm just judging you for what you've been doing in it, and I have to give him his flowers in terms of, all right, cool. In this setup where we've been very inconsistent for the past 13 years and haven't gotten back to the heyday of winning Premier Leagues, competing at the highest level, being in the Champions League and going further on between big majors, because we want all the majors, innit? If it was a season where Bruno's numbers had, like, I don't know, let's say there's a season where Bruno's numbers have not hit the highest elk, but win a Prem or a Champs, I'm not caring, because I got majors. No one can chat to us because we're winning what's required. But still, regardless, Bruno has to show up. And I do agree with the point where you're like, in certain games, like I call the 2 Europa League finals you brought up, the first one being the Villarreal one. Bro, the best midfielder in that game for us personally, because Paul Pogba was on that pitch as well, and he was a disgrace, was Scott McTominay. McTominay was the one kind of running the show a little bit, but it still wasn't enough. The one against Tottenham, that one there, I feel that game was voided for us to lose anyway because of how bad Amrin was. And I don't even want to talk about Amrin because that guy, I don't even want to mention because he is one of the worst things that ever happened to this club. And I was a big advocate of him coming out of this club because I wasn't rating what he was doing. Man had Bruno in the number 6. Whether you like Bruno or not, you know you don't want him near our goal. You want him further forward where he can cause damage. So with Bruno, it's one of those things where, cool, if you rate him like myself and judge him what he's good at, then cool. But if it's gonna go down to like, all right, he's not a mad technical player, which I disagree. He is, because there's no way you can do what he does and not be a technical player or good at or a world-class player. I think he is world-class, but it's just in his position, I don't see much better than what he does in this era of football. And that's what you got to judge it. Cool, you can bring it back to like back in the day where you've got your Mavericks, like your Rui Costas or your Clarence Seedorfs or your Xavis and Iniestas. All right, cool. Bruno's not that player. We know that. He's not a Gerrard or a Scholes. He will never be that. He's just going to be Bruno Fernandes. So I have to judge it on what he does. So for the club and what he's been doing, he's been very consistent. You can't fault him at being what he's doing. There's games where he should be doing better, but when I look at other players, who's been better than him really in this team? Who? Like when you look at it, for example, who's had a better Man United career, him or Paul Pogba? It's Bruno Fernandes by far. I don't even think it's close, because I feel with Bruno, he's just been that. He's been more consistent. Even if he's having a stinker of a game, he can always come with something. With Paul Pogba, for example, Pogba will have games here where if the game's not going his way, he's just not in the game. And I just don't rate that, because it's like, bro, not every game's going to go in your way. You've got to kind of make something happen. Even if you have to force it 1 or 10 times, make it work. And that's my thing. I can always rate a player that's always willing to try something and then it can come off. Man will say, he's forcing it. He gives the ball away. He's a big reason why he's not disciplined. But it's like, if any other player could rise up to the table, then mention these players. Man United have neglected the midfield. You could agree with that as well for so many seasons. I haven't seen a window where we've looked at just midfielders solely. We've had midfielders signed, like, I don't know, for example, like, man, I've signed Matic when he's been done at Chelsea, the Fellaini's, Manuel Ugarte. These are not midfielders that you want to rely on. This, I can say this season, we've actually got some decent midfielders that can maybe build around Bruno. Like, for example, Yuri Tielemans is a player I've always wanted, and I'm glad we've got him now. So that could always better with Bruno. People might think, him and Bruno will clash, but they don't operate in the same positions. If Bruno's further forward and Tielemans is kind of like dictating as an 8, I don't want Bruno coming in that phase of trying to build up, because that's not his best part of his game. His best part of his game is creating chances and getting forward and scoring goals. That's what you need him to do. And if he's doing that, then he's doing his job, because that's what he gets paid the money to do. So it's like, people will fault him at his worst. Like, for example, last season where he missed the penalty against Fulham or the penalty against Brentford away. Those were 2 moments where you're like, he's got to bury that. But it's like, he still came over that and broke the assist record. So I have to rate him on having a slow start where it was a bit iffy, and then you come with the goods in. All right, cool. You get your playmaker award. I know it's an individual award, but you still got to do it. For example, Harry Kane, people are saying, he's a bottle job. Now, obviously, he takes him to Bayern. He gets his trophies. He still scores his goals. So I feel Bruno still is in that ilk where he's going to get you goals and assists, and you kind of just have to judge it off that, really, because that's what he's there to do. He's not your deep line playmaker. He's not a dictator. He's our creative midfielder. So you got to judge him on what he does, isn't it? That's my take with Bruno, really.
No, listen. You said what you said, bro. Like, I mean, the way that you're seeing it, like, I can't fault what you're saying. But what I would say, there's a couple of things you said, yeah. And guys, big up for coming through. Big up to Fitz as well each and every time. Guys, I've had to take the overlay off because the phone version is not showing us on the screen. So I've just taken it off completely. So yeah, if some of you have come in and seen that the phone version's not is not lining up. I've taken it off because it's messing up. So apologies for that. But anyway, listen. So from what you said, first and foremost, yeah, let's touch on it here, yeah. Since Bruno Fernandes has come to the club, what would you say has been his biggest game for United since he's come to the club?
For United.
What's been United's biggest game, would you say?
I'd say I judge it on more finals, innit? So you could say all right, cool. So biggest game like in the league or just like cup final?
Just the biggest game so far that we've had for United.
It's a weird one. You could say the Villarreal one was a big one because it's a Europa League final.
So let me stop you there. And guys, keep your questions and comments.
And I know it's Europa League, but I'm just saying that that was the time of what he's done there, innit? So it's weird. I'd say maybe the FA Cup final against City. It's a derby. That's a big game. I know it's an FA Cup, but it's still a final, innit? So like any final to me is still a big game, innit?
Yeah.
Like,
so for me personally, like as we know, like FA Cup's probably lost a bit of its prestige anyway.
Yeah.
For me, United's two biggest games they've had since Bruno's been here has been two finals, both being the Europa League final. Yeah.
Okay.
Now you mentioned Paul Pogba. Now, to be honest with you, the fact that we mention Pogba and Bruno in the same conversation is disrespectful to Paul Pogba because Bruno Fernandes as a footballer is nowhere near Paul Pogba. And
no, I agree with
Paul Pogba was instrumental in the one Europa League win the Europa League game that we won against Ajax, where he scored a goal as well. So when we're saying that Bruno shows up and Pogba doesn't, that's not entirely in the final that we've had at United. Pogba showed up and Bruno is yet to sharpen too. Yeah. Now, what I look at with Bruno Fernandes, is that his negatives outweigh his pros. Because I think we're in an era of football right now where people don't really care about performances. It's all about what it's saying on the stat sheet. Yeah. Now, how I look at things with Bruno, for a start, he's not a number 10. I think it's a disgrace that people call him a number 10 in comparison to the number 10s that I grew up watching. Yeah. He's a box-to-box number 8. Yeah. That has the freedom of Old Trafford to go and do what he wants. Yeah. Now, when I say he's a detriment to the team, is because if we're taking away the fact that Bruno takes penalties, he takes all the set pieces, his numbers would look very different. And this whole notion that he gets numbers is out the window. It's only because, he's at a club where, rightly or wrongly, he's looked at as the go-to guy because he's probably he's one of the oldest players in the squad. Yeah, he's probably one of the longest serving as well, and he's one of the most experienced. So around him, he's got guys that really he can chat rubbish to in a sense. The only guy he didn't do that to was Casemiro because Casemiro is Casemiro. Yeah. But my whole thing is that his numbers are in a way because he's afforded to do everything. He's been given the freedom of Old Trafford to go and do what he wants, which coincides with his numbers. Because I believe over 50% of his goals are coming from set pieces.
50%?
Like, over 50%. If you check it, I haven't got. If anyone in the chat can check it, I think over 50% of his numbers are coming from set pieces. So this is what my argument's always been. Yeah, I'm not too bothered about Bruno getting numbers. I look at the detriment that he's causing the team. I remember when Bruno first come into Manchester United, when he replaced Jesse Lingard in the 10. Yeah. Now fans got excited because it's a new toy and Jesse Lingard. A lot of fans didn't really rate him. I didn't mind Lingard, but obviously him coming into the team was like a breath of fresh air for a lot of fans. But what I noticed about what he was doing is that he was emptying the midfield to go and get numbers because fans just associate that if someone's getting numbers, that's the be all and end all. Yeah. So when I'm going through his numbers now, the only sort of player that I look at in probably world football that doesn't need to have an all-round game because he gets serious numbers is probably Erling Haaland for good reason. Yeah,
he's a striker.
But the way that Bruno plays, he very clearly plays for numbers because it's how he stays relevant. Now, if I look at Manchester United, this season, it's quite clear that Carrick wants to have possession of the ball.
Yeah,
now, I've always said this, I've always said this. The fact that we signed Yuri Tillemans means that, for me, Bruno's under pressure. And he's under pressure because although he has the captain's armband, he's now got someone in Yuri Tillemans that's a new signing. He can play where he wants to play. And he's younger. He's one of the best midfielders in the Premier League. Yeah. And most importantly, Yuri Tillemans wants to look after the ball. Where Bruno's going to struggle, is that if Bruno has to play a bit more conservative, in terms of being able to keep the ball, which ain't his game, you're going to lose his numbers. That's a fact. If Man United want to continue playing counter-attacking football, which ain't going to get us anywhere, then his numbers might look good. But the way that Carrick wants to go with the sign of Andre Santos, Yuri Tillemans, I know Baleba's a little bit different, but he offers something a bit different in the team. It's either going to be a case where Bruno's numbers decrease, but as a team, we're better. Or if United play counter-attacking, because Bruno's a player that if Man United play counter-attacking, he'll look better. But Man United are not going to do anything with playing that way. So my thing has always been, where does Bruno, especially now, he doesn't really fit in the team. But he's the captain, he's the highest paid player. And you're going to have to kind of come to a decision, accommodate him, which is going to be to the detriment of the team. Pre-season, I've not watched all the games. I've seen highlights. Okay. But what I noticed, as soon as Bruno comes back into the team against AC Milan, we get beat and we look poor. That's not a coincidence.
But can we take so much in from pre-season?
No. What I mean is, pre-season is pre-season. Get fitness in the legs, etc. But what I'm taking from that, again, I've not watched all the games. I've seen the highlights, and what I took from that is we're starting to play in a way that Michael Carrick sees the team as well, and it's something that I can get behind and support. And that wasn't with Bruno Fernandes. I've always advocated for Ahmad to play in the 10. Shea Lacey was playing in the 10.
Brilliant in the 10,
But again, it's not a surprise why Lacey's been brilliant, because he's another player that wants to keep the ball. All of a sudden, Bruno comes back into the team. And what you have to realize as well with Bruno's not good in the half spaces. He's not good in the half turn because he needs to be facing the game. As soon as he comes into the team, there isn't a surprise. And again, I'm not saying it's all on Bruno, but it's not a surprise how he comes back into the team, and we probably produced our worst performance of the preseason so far. These things are not coincidence for me.
But do you think we're a better team without Bruno? Because I can 100%. Tell you, you think?
I'll tell you why we're better, because we don't have to play with we don't have to play with a number 10. We can play a 4-3-3, and this is why I'm saying, like, even Santos, Kobe Mainu, Yuri Tillemans. First and foremost, with these guys, they all want to keep the ball. And if we want to start dominating possession against these teams, if we want to start dominating possession, we need to be keeping the ball. Because all what's going to happen, if we're going to play through Bruno Fernandes and play counter-attacking, we're not doing anything serious. It's just not going to happen.
I don't think it's all going to come from Bruno. Every player has to play their part. So we have to judge Bruno on his role in the team, innit? So creating chances, he scores goals by nature. That's what he does, innit? So in a way, you kind of have to look at that, but I don't judge him just with goals. It's more creativity, just putting in performances, as you just said.
Cool. So let me just stop you there. Let me just stop you there just quickly. Because this is something that people don't want to look at or ignore. When people tell me he's the most creative player in the league, or in Europe, again, it's lazy. Because if people actually knew how chances created are counted in the era of football, you'll be looking at it differently. So I'll give an example. I know and I know you've heard this before as well.
I've heard it millions of times. If you
remember when Luke Shaw was on corners, and his stats started looking a bit different. Because how it works here, is that because Bruno takes more or less every set piece. Basically, no matter how bad the ball is, if someone gets their head to the ball or their foot to the ball, that gets counted as a chance created.
Chance created, yeah.
So these stats are skewed in a way to make the player look a lot better. Where you can judge Bruno Fernandes, yeah, is when he stops taking these set pieces. Then you can judge his game. And I guarantee you this now, if he wasn't on all the set pieces, you'll be looking at his game differently, because now you have to hold him accountable for what he's doing, not getting numbers.
But if he wasn't getting those numbers or contributing, you would still criticize him and say, why is Bruno on the pitch? What is he doing? So if he's not getting assists from corners, if he's not doing anything from set pieces, you're gonna be like, what is he doing on the pitch? He's still detrimenting the team even further. So it's a lose-lose situation for Bruno. If he gets assists, you're not gonna rate them or count them or anything. And then if he's if he gets assists, you're not rating it. And then it's a lose-lose. I'll be honest, because it's like we judge him on creating chances. That's what he's there to do. That's his sole job. Every player has a role in the team. Bruno's job is to create chances and contribute to the team. So it's like that's what I'm going with Bruno, innit? It's like, I know he's not a mad dribbler in terms of that type of 10. Like, for example, if Cunha's in the 10, Cunha's not a passing 10 in terms of he's not really a mad passer in terms of that. He's more get on the ball. I'm gonna drive at players and go past them. He's a different type of number 10, kind of like Lacey. He's a bit similar in it, where Bruno is, I'm going to get on the ball, thump it forward, or try look for that key pass in behind. He's more, you would want to think about it, which is but
again, Bruno forces the ball a lot of the time when it's not on, and all that does is just turn over possession. Because as I said, if you're going to say that his job in the team is to score goals and create goals, on the stats on the stat sheet that looks good. But I look at what he is not giving us. He leaves us vulnerable in midfield. A lot of the times when the game's going against Manchester United, he goes and takes the ball off players' toes. But what that does, that actually disjoints the side. Because if you're going to go and take the ball off players' toes, then in a way, you're undermining your own players. And people tell me that he's a captain. He's not no captain by doing that. You know what I'm trying to say? So my whole thing is, what the whole point I'm trying to get to, stats are irrelevant, if you're causing a hindrance to the team in other ways. I would have nothing to say, by the way, if Bruno Fernandes was instrumental in Man United winning, whether it's Premier Leagues or, getting over the line in Europa League finals, etc. I would have nothing to say, because as much as I don't rate, a lot of the things that he does, if it's leading Manchester United to doing things, I'll be like, do you know what? Fair enough. But when he's only got an FA Cup and a Carabao Cup to show for it, and he's got one assist that he's got to live by, how can we start saying that this guy is irreplaceable? How about we just go in a way which doesn't include him, and then we can see what the team's made of? Because I guarantee you there's players that will step up once he is moved on. But when you've got a player like him that dominates everything that United do, as I said, he's not Lionel Messi. You know what I'm trying to say? He's not Neymar. He's not Eden Hazard. He's just Bruno Fernandes that plays a role in this team. And for me personally, the role that he plays is a detriment to what we want to do moving forwards. And I definitely think the signing of Yuri Tillemans, it will make Bruno uncomfortable, because Tillemans can give what Bruno does. Yes, Tillemans won't get the numbers that Bruno gets. But again, a lot of Bruno's goals, come from set pieces. They do. And that's a bit harsh, because it's like last season he got a lot of assists from open play. I can say even last season there was quite a few times where he was getting a lot of assists to Casemiro, for example, where Casemiro would just score a header within the box, which it's still effective for us, because at the end of it we was winning loads of games for it. So I can't criticize Bruno for finding a way to unlock a game. That's what he's there to do. He's meant to be our guy to create chances, but there's other players that are meant to create chances too. It's not just solely Bruno. You've got your wide players to be there to create chances, your midfielders when they can to create chances. It's a team game, but again, the team is set up for Bruno Fernandes. I'll give you a small example, a small example of what I mean. When Man United got Cristiano Ronaldo, You remember that season when Ronaldo came through when he never should have?
Yeah.
You know what happened to Bruno's numbers there?
They depleted because you're having to play for Ronaldo.
Right. So this is my point. Yeah. Mason Greenwood's numbers decreased as well. So my point is the very fact that the team play for Bruno and he takes every set piece more or less. Why should we be surprised that he's getting numbers? But then when it comes to Europa League finals, where it's the time to try and show everyone who you are, he's failed twice.
Yeah, but even in those 2 Europa League finals, you could even admit we weren't good in both of those finals, especially the one against Tottenham. That one was probably set us up to fail because Amorim had us playing with some shambolic football that we can both agree on. That it didn't even need to be Matt Carey. You could have put a caretaker in charge. I think we win that game, but because it was Amorim, I just think he set us up to fail. The one with Oli, that one, it's a mixture because Oli brought on subs late. Bruno, yes, he didn't have a great game, but neither did Pogba as well. So these are players that you're expecting to actually shine or do something on the pitch, and they're not doing it. So if someone like, for example, I'm trying to say, like, if you see in the Villarreal game, McTominay was the one that was playing a lot better than Bruno. Why is he outshining you? That's when I'm like,
why is McTominay outshining who? Sorry,
Bruno. You know, in the Villarreal game, him and Pogba were both on the pitch, but McTominay was showing up more within the midfield and trying to get up and about and try to create something or get on the ball and do something. But Bruno and Pogba were both nullified. So both of your 2 best midfielders on the pitch, and they both didn't do nothing. But an academy graduate who gets criticized a lot more turned up. So
but again, these are isolated things because do I rate McTominay? No. But then to say that Pogba didn't show up in that final, Pogba's already shown in the World Cup final, he's shown in the Europa League final that he does turn up. My thing to you that I'm saying, Bruno has never showed up in a big game.
So what, the FA Cup against City in 2024 wasn't a big game?
But again, he all he done was got that assist, and that's what people are going to live by. So my point to you is now, seven years at the club, on 300 grand a week, his highlight is 1 assist.
We're not in the final. But that's a bit disingenuous because the whole team hasn't been good enough. So it's not even just Bruno. Bruno, all right, cool. Bruno's one component, but the rest of the components haven't actually set us up to actually do what's required. So we haven't even been in a proper title race for God knows how long. So it's like, man, we're looking at Bruno, but when he's not in the team, I don't see United doing a lot in terms of creating chances or scoring more goals. There was that period even under Amorim where he got injured against Villa. Was it against Villa away? Yeah, it was against Villa away, where he got injured and we were missing him for quite a bit because it's like, you're not going to rely on Mason Mount. Matthias Cunha's not as creative as him. He's more of a different profile as a number 10. If anything, Cunha's more of like your old school number 10. He'll get on the ball, drive on it, but he's not like your passing 10. He's more of a dribbler, in it. So
he's like a maverick in a sense.
Yeah, exactly. He's more like a maverick 10, innit? So you're missing that factor of what Bruno can do because he can find a key pass. He can put players through on goal. Like, Kobe can do that as well, but not to the level of what Bruno can do, innit? Because I just think Bruno just got... It's not even an IQ thing, because I think Kobe's IQ is elite. It's very up there. I don't think there's like an English midfielder that can do... It's like with Kobe and Kobe Defense League. Like, there's no English midfielder that can do what he does on the football in terms of the half turn, because Kobe's got that. But I think with someone like Bruno, you always need them in the team because they're just a handful. Like, if he's in a certain area, you know he's popping up with something. People say, all right, cool, he relies a lot on penalties, but if he's missing loads of penalties, you're going to call him rubbish. So if he scores them, he's a penalty merchant, but if he misses them, then what is he doing? It's like...
But my point is, if he's not on all these set pieces, because when you're saying to me as well, other players don't step up or United don't do nothing when he's not playing, that's because since he's come to the club, the whole team has been revolved around him. So we don't even know what United can do when he's not there, because one thing you give him credit for, he's always fit. So we're not going to know what the team can do until he's out of it. And the very fact that Carrick wants to start playing possession-based football, he doesn't fit into this team. He doesn't. But because he's the captain and the highest earner, he's going to be shoehorned into this team. But if you're going to shoehorn Bruno Fernandes into this team, there's going to have to be a drop off. Whether he plays a bit more constructive with the team, which means his numbers will decrease, really. Because when I say him playing a bit more, I say playing a bit more careful, he can't be playing as second striker all the time, like he does. You know what I'm trying to say? Whereas if he plays a bit more as part of the midfield, his numbers will probably decrease, but the team will probably perform better as a whole. So there's got to be some sort of drop-off in his game that will happen if he does play a bit more conservative. But if United are going to play expansive and play end-to-end football or counter-attacking, then his numbers will still look decent. But I guarantee you this, United won't do anything serious. That's what I will tell you, Sorry, bro, just quickly, just quickly. Let me just get onto some of the chats quickly, and then revert back. Guys, make sure you're smashing that like button, and make sure you're subbing to the channel as well. Let me just go through some of your questions. Let's see. Gav, are you disappointed with this window? I'm not, to be honest with you. Did I think we were going for Yuri Tillemans and Andre Santos? No. In my head, I had Camavinga, Baleba, and Sandro Tonali as the three midfield signings. And again, Tonali's at Tottenham. Yeah. You know, Baleba, he's on the verge. And Camavinga is my number one, but it's looking like he's digging in his heels. So, to be fair, I'm happy with what's been done at the moment. I'm not completely satisfied, but it's good signs, put it that way. What's this one here? So there's a reason why Bruno takes all the set pieces and takes pens, because he's the best at it. Do people take away pens from man like Kane and that? But again, that's missing the point of what I'm saying. Like, at least understand what I'm saying here. Yeah, that isn't the point I'm making. The point I'm making to you, is that this club has everything revolved around Bruno. Because whenever anyone tries to tell me what Bruno's best at, it's GA. Yeah, his GA means that the goal, the penalties, and the set pieces are involved. It's a fact. I'm not lying. It's a fact. So my point is, it's not about saying that you take penalties away from Harry Kane. My point is, his numbers are the way they are because he takes everything.
But Gav, what do you judge Bruno?
Sorry?
When you watch Bruno or you see him on the lineup, what do you judge Bruno on?
What I judge him on? I think in terms of his consistent running, that's a positive, because he's always going to be a threat in that sense. Yeah. But my point is, I look at his numbers secondary, because I look at what the team are losing something when he plays the way he plays. I'm not surprised he gets numbers. That's my whole point, because he takes the set pieces, as I said, and he plays in a way where he can go and do what he wants. You look at when he plays for Portugal, for instance, he cannot do what he does for Portugal that he does for Manchester United. Yeah, that should be an eye opener. But he looks better for Portugal for me.
Yeah, but with Portugal, it's a mixture of like a couple things. They've slightly got a better. Well, actually, no, they do have a more balanced and better midfield. You can say João Neves and Vitinha, they walk into Man United's midfield immediately because they're two exceptional midfielders. And there's a mixture of Bruno can operate even in the 8 more constructive because there's more protection, but there's more balance where João Neves can roam around, get up on the pitch and be like a ball winner. Vitinha can be like your dictator, but more get on the ball. He's gonna glide, kind of do the Cobby thing, but a lot better in it. So it's just more of a better balance in it. And I feel even adding Tielemans to that midfield, I don't think him and Bruno will clash. I'll be honest, because they do similar things, but I don't think they operate the same way. I feel Bruno doesn't have to drop in deep. He can go forward.
No, but bro, I don't think they'll clash. Tielemans and
it's
Bruno.
Like Ronaldo. When we got Ronaldo, them two clash because them two are trying to get in the same spaces. I'm glad you even mentioned it as well.
But this is why I said earlier, when Ronaldo come into Manchester United, it was a clear evidence, that when you get a player like that, you have to play through him. And as soon as he come to the club, Bruno's numbers dropped. Mason Greenwood's numbers dropped as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So my point to you is that when you've got a player that everything goes through, it's not really a surprise why that player hogs up everything. And Ronaldo coming back to Manchester United, that showed you everything. Because Bruno dropped off from there because you had someone else in the team. My thing is, but yeah, because Ronaldo came in. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
That's my whole point. So he came in and everyone starved. So for me personally, everyone should be eating, not just one player.
Yeah, no,
and again,
100%.
And going back to Ronaldo as well, again, if Man United were winning trophies and that happened, you would hear no argument from me. But the very fact that we recorded our lowest ever finish at the time, but then people were getting carried away that one player had 18 league goals. Yeah, but what they don't tell you on Sky Sports especially, that 18 of his league goals come across 10 games. They don't tell you that. Because they're making it seem as if Ronaldo was banging in goals every week when he wasn't.
Exactly. I said this as well. I said this as well. When Ronaldo came back, I didn't want him back. That's just my opinion. Because I feel we didn't need that type of player. The attack was stacked. We needed more of a defensive midfielder. That was probably the one component we were missing. And then because he was into City, you go panic and obviously you bring Fergie to kind of sweet talk to convince him, and then you want that honeymoon to come back to the old club, innit? So it's like,
I agree.
It was, in my opinion, bringing Ronaldo back was a panic buy, and we should never have done it because you're like, oh, you
never
don't
should have happened.
You should never should happen. I didn't want him back. I wanted Man United to do the right
He was
thing.
never going City. That's the funny thing. He was never going there.
But it's just because United fans want to do the panic station of, oh, Ronaldo's going back. We didn't need Ronaldo. You had Cavani still at the club. He was on, I think, big dough at the time. Martial was still there. Greenwood was still there. Rashford was there. There's players that could have played there. So bringing Ronaldo back was not the one for me personally, you know.
Bro, it was a detriment to the club. And again, as I said to you, but I'm just using that example
as an example.
When you've got one player coming in and dominates everything. Because Ronaldo came in, who was on the penalties?
Ronaldo.
Who was on the free kicks? Ronaldo. So it's the same thing what's happening with Bruno. Yeah. And then, but again, when you've got someone like that and the team are not winning, at what point do we start saying, okay, if we want to move forward as a club, maybe it's time to move on a player like that to get more out of the team? Because it's not an individual sport.
No,
you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, many players have got to move on, play their role. But also, we've got to move on other players. It's not even just Bruno. For example, Diogo Dalot, he's been here since 2018. Get him out. I agree. He's not been good enough. Another one, Lisandro Martinez. I would sell him in a heartbeat because he's not reliable. Get him gone. He's not good enough for the top level.
Bro, what we'll do, we'll get onto the players after because I want to stick on to what we're sticking on. But we'll talk about that after. Let me just go through some of these chats quickly. So, Gav, where did you get over 50% from, please? So, I think again, I'm not saying it's a definite, but I'm pretty sure Bruno Fernandes' goals, not his assists, his goals are the majority of them are from set pieces. It could be over 50%. Again, if anyone in the chat has that, then just put that in the chat. Again, I'm not saying it's a definite, but I'm pretty sure half of his goals might be from set pieces. But again, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You know? Let me just go through some of this. Consa, Bruno G, Solis, 9 out of 10. Listen, I have to say, you see Arsenal getting Ezri Konsa.
That's a good sign.
I'll have to say, as much as it pains me to say, you know, that for me at this moment in time, I'm looking at Arsenal as the favourites for the title because that sign of Konsa is a very smart signing, and for me, it's a lack of ambition for Aston Villa to let him go for 51 million.
Yeah, that's
so. Great question from Foxy. Danny says, Gav and TMJ, who should replace Bruno? Listen, Bruno Fernandes, you don't need to replace him. The players are there. All you need to do is just change the formation. Yeah. I've always said, to get the best out of Amad Diallo, Amad's a natural number 10. I want to see Amad more involved in the game and instead of being on the periphery of the game. And like to see Amad in the 10. Cunha, as we know,
he's a 10 back.
He's a 10 anyway.
Yeah,
and again, Xerxes can play that, even though I prefer Xerxes as a 9, as a false 9, But the facts are, go on, bro, go on.
But would you say Xerxes' best position in this current team looks better in a 10? Because I'd say it probably does. He looks more effective in, like with Mbumo up front, him and the 10 behind.
So for me, I will still say a 9, but it just the thing is, you need to have the right sort of players around Xerxes. Again, I've had this conversation with so many people. Yeah, Xerxes is a false 9, and he needs runners to go beyond him. Yeah, I guarantee you, if Rashford was to play with Xerxes, he'll get joy out of Xerxes because Xerxes is unselfish. Yeah, like and then even on the right hand side, even though I want to see Ahmad, Mbuemo would get joy off of Xerxes as well. So again, you don't need to replace Bruno Fernandes. You either go to a 3 or you've got other players, even if it was a Xerxes, that can actually play there. So he's not a player you replace.
I think more teams are going into that midfield 3, like you see with PSG. They don't play with a sole 10. Barcelona kind of do. You got Omar and Fermin Lopez, but PSG are probably the prime example where they just play a midfield 3 in it, and you may have one sitting, and then you got your 2 advanced 8s in it. So more teams are kind of going in that. Arsenal kind of do it as well.
The like number 10's a dying breed, bro. I'm telling you, it's a dying breed.
No, you don't have like your proper Mavericks, like your Kakas back in the day.
We don't have them players no more. You don't have those we're having to deal with players like Jude Bellingham, who they're trying to call number 10s. It's embarrassing to football.
He's an 8, man. It's like he's just an advanced 8.
Bro, he's a box-to-box number 8. I'm telling you. Number 8, man. But this is what we're dealing with now. We're dealing with false images players. Like when I'm hearing that, and again, people are trying to tell me that Bruno and Jude Bellingham are the 2 best 10s in the game. Yeah, if that's the case, it's no wonder why football's in the bin. Because I grew up on proper number 10s.
It's like even I'm trying to think. No, like you just said, like the number 10s, you don't see that. I was watching something, I think it was with Rio Ferdinand and Clarence Seedorf, and he was talking about, I think, number 10s as well. Like you don't see them type of players that are just popping about in the pocket. You don't really see that no more. So it's a dying breed.
It's true, bro. It's true, and this is why, like, people might look at me and say, "Oh, you've got something against Bruno." I got nothing against Bruno Fernandes, but I've seen some real players, and there's nothing that's going to change my mind to be rating a player like that when he's not even a number 10 in the way. When I've seen some of the players that I've seen in the past, and they weren't even talked about the way that people talk about Bruno Fernandes. And again, a lot of it comes back to GA. Like it's crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy.
But if he doesn't get the numbers, you may critique him in it. So it's like, if he's getting numbers, you're not going to be pleased. I mean, if we're losing, I can understand that because I'll be like, I don't care if Bruno scored a brace, but we lost 4-2, innit? It's like, I'm not going to bring that up because I don't care about that. If Man United are winning games and everyone's playing more, that's the main thing. I don't even think Bruno really kind of like, he may care to a degree, but I don't think that's his sole thing. It's more playing more for the team, innit? And that's why I probably play.
I'll be honest now. I'll be honest with you. Like, I'm not fussed about Bruno's numbers. That's the main thing. If I'd much rather Bruno play his part, in a cohesive midfield, and we're getting results because if you look at a lot of what Bruno does, he'll have an average to poor 90 minutes, but then he'll pop up with a goal and assist, and everything's forgotten about. That's the problem that I have. I'm not interested in who's scoring the goals, because at the end of the day, I don't care if you're scoring goals and we're winning nothing. It's irrelevant to me. That's how I see it. I'd much rather have a number 10 that wants to look after the ball. Because if you're looking after the ball, you're keeping possession, guess what? We're going to win games anyway. But I just feel that people are more interested in what Bruno's getting on the stat sheet than saying, what else the team are doing. It's all about, Bruno got a goal today. Bruno got an assist today. Yeah, but then when it came for him to show up in the final as this player that everyone wants to say that he is, he's failed both times. That's not a coincidence.
But you can say United failed both times. It's not like for Wimbledon, you say Novak Djokovic, he didn't win Wimbledon. Like, it's one of them things, isn't it? It's a team game. If other players turned up in that final.
Why is it then, Why is it then, Why is it that we can say the team failed in the final, but then it's Bruno getting the assists in that?
So wait, sorry, repeat that again.
So when we're saying the team failed in the final, so why is it okay to say the team failed in the final, but then people hype up Bruno's assists and goals?
I just think some people like to favor towards the more dominant player, innit? Like, for example, if we lose to Hull, but Bruno gets, I don't know, a goal and assist, it's irrelevant because I want 3 points. That's the main thing. And we want to get 3 points to either win the league or at least compete for the league or be involved in it. That's the main thing. But you're only going to do that with your best players turning up. And Bruno is probably one of our best players. You might disagree with it. I think he's definitely our best player, or one of at least, because of what he's been doing for countless seasons. And if he wasn't putting up the numbers or anything, he wouldn't be in conversations. There's no way a player like him could break the assist record if he wasn't good enough at his job. There's no way. It's impossible, because if that was the case, then someone would have broke it by now, innit?
Yeah, but don't you think a lot of these, again, I'm not going to go too much into it, yeah, but again, a lot of the assists that are given in this era of football are not real assists.
Okay, what do you count as not as an assist?
So I'll give an example, because I'm glad you asked that. Yeah, so I had a short that come out, middle of the season, where I was actually comparing this. Yeah, so I'll give an example. Yeah, if I play you the ball and you take it round a player and score, is that an assist for me?
I wouldn't personally class that, because I've done more of the. If I've gone past 3 or 4 players and I've hit,
so we're on the same.
It top corner, then I don't. Was that really an assist in it? You can't really count that. I wouldn't judge.
Right. So we're on the same. We're on the same page, yeah.
Yeah.
And if I play you the ball across the face of the goal and you tap it in straight away, is that my assist or not?
If I'm on the back,
so if you're the striker and I play the ball across goal and you tap it in first time.
Yeah,
is that an assist for me?
Yeah, it's an assist for you. Yeah,
right. So I'm glad you've looked at this. Yeah, go and look at the majority of his assists this season, and you would realize to yourself that a lot of these assists that he's been given are either from set pieces or not real assists. I promise you not. And I'll tell you why I'm confident with this. Yeah, because I actually done big up to Fitz as well. Yeah, we actually went through this. A lot of his assists in this modern game are not technical assists. They're not. Because if I play the ball to you and you take it round a man and score, that technically cannot be my assist. That just means I was the last person to play you the ball. And a lot of these assists come from directly that.
But that's the metric that they put it on now, isn't it? So it's like, if I play you the ball and then you just, I don't know, bang it from like 25, 30 yards, I'm still going to get the assist because I was the one that played you the ball, innit? And I know what you mean.
But that's what I don't agree with. That's what I don't agree with. Yeah. That's what I don't agree with. Tielemans can replace Bruno as the 10. He can. And you know what? I want to see Kobbie Mainoo as well, yeah? I want to see Kobbie Mainoo playing further forward. And this is why the Baleba signing, the Santos signing and Tielemans, it's even more reason now, if we want to play better football, Bruno doesn't figure. Because Kobbie can play in that 10, not in the way that Bruno plays, but Kobbie can be part of the midfield free and help to keep the ball. So can Tielemans. So can Santos. Baleba can have a different role because he's got the legs. He's fairly press resistant as well, but he can win the ball back high up the pitch. So again, the midfield that we're creating now, it doesn't really figure Bruno and the way that Bruno plays. So this is what I'm trying to say to you, with Carrick, If Carrick wants to play possession-based football, then Bruno doesn't figure in this. He doesn't. If he wants to play counter-attack, then play Bruno all day long. But we're not going to win nothing like that. It's just going to be Bruno getting good numbers, and we're going to be stagnating as always. So that's my thing, innit?
I feel it's more of a collective thing, innit? I feel if we're not actually turning up and doing what's required, we're never going to be in the conversation, innit? And if we're not playing the right football, which is more front foot, or all right, cool. People say counter-attacking, but I feel attacking football's always been like my thing. Possession football's good, but I always say this, if you're having the ball, what are you doing with it? Because at the end of the day, you need to put the ball in the back of the net to win the game. And if you're not doing that, then what is all good of this possession? Because even with possession, your target is to put the ball in the back of the net as many times, or at least do it to a point where you can nullify a team where they can't get the ball off you. So we can do the possession thing, but it needs to be us winning games consistently. That's my thing. But no, I hear you now.
So look, this is a good question, yeah? Gab, would you swap Bruno for Odegaard? You see the way that we're playing now? Yes, I would.
You would swap,
and that should tell you everything. That should tell you everything. The way that Man United are trying to play now, I would 100% swap Odegaard for Bruno for Odegaard. Why is that? Yes, Bruno might get more goals than Odegaard, but Odegaard will suit the way in terms of keeping the ball. You keep the ball, the opposition hasn't got it. It's that simple.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just that simple. So you can see where I'm going with this. You know, and again, if people don't wanna understand or don't want to agree with it, again, you're entitled to your opinion. You know, I'm just trying to give you a different way of looking at things because I've never seen a player like Bruno Fernandes just be absolved of any blame. I wouldn't even mind if, you know, this guy was instrumental in us winning trophies. FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, that's literally what he's done since he's come here. Whether people just want to say it's a team thing or not. If it's not a team thing, we can't just be saying, okay, when he gets the assist, it's all down to him. It's all down to him. You know, I don't agree with that. United have stagnated with Bruno, might be better without him. I agree. Number 10 in my days was a second striker. There you go. Whoa. The thing is, number 10, the Bergkamps, you know, the Canios, the Del Pieros, the Francesco Tottis. You know what I'm trying to say? And now we have to watch, you know, as they call them, box crashers playing in number 10. It's a sign of how shit football is. Pablo Aimar, look at Pablo Aimar, Juan Roman Riquelme. Yeah, some serious 10s out there.
Yeah,
you know? What's this? If we lose a final, it's because the players aren't good. But if we lift the trophy, it's because of Captain Fantastic. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Great comment. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. If we lose the final, it's not Bruno. But if United win a trophy and Bruno does nothing, because he's the captain, we're gonna start celebrating it. And that's what I don't understand.
But people still have a standard of Bruno to do what he's known to do. And if he's not doing that, he's still going to get criticized, where if he's not creating chances, he's not, I don't know, putting good passes from deep line or doing anything on the ball, he's still going to get judged. Even if he's not doing that, but obviously putting in a shift off the ball, they're still going to critique and say, why is Bruno not facilitating others? And why is Bruno not creating chances? Why has he not got this many assists? People are going to wonder why he's not doing that. So if you change his role, you're kind of like not looking at the full picture of what Bruno does, innit? And I always like to judge players on what their skill set is, innit? Because I don't want Bruno doing something that he's not capable of doing. Like, that's probably the worst thing to do. I'd rather just judge Bruno on what he does, innit? Remember, like, he's like 30, 31. He's not going to change and be an elegant dribbler. It's impossible because he's always known to do what he does, innit? So I'd rather just judge him on what he does, innit? And I get you. Like, obviously, football's moving to a different ilk where you want your teams playing more of a mid three, keeping the ball. I think Bruno can do it, but it depends on to the level, innit? Like, it depends on the way we're trying to do it. If he doesn't do it well, I'll be the first person to tell you, Bruno, you've had a poor game. I'll keep it a buck. I'm not gonna be Bruno's actually been playing well when he's been sticking out the gaff. I don't know.
Yeah. No, listen, I've as I said, man, I think I'm not saying that Bruno Fernandes has been a disgrace at United.
No. You haven't said that. No.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm just purely looking at it as the way that he's talked about, like, we cannot do without him. For me, is simply not true. And again, I'm gonna go through why as well in a minute. Let me just get through some of these questions quickly because obviously there's a lot of them. So Gav, why did you have Arsenal fans last season saying they would swap Odegaard for Bruno? Why do I care what Arsenal fans are saying? If Arsenal fans want to swap Odegaard for Bruno, well done to them. I couldn't care less. My opinion's my opinion. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, what's that got to do with anything? I don't really get that.
Yeah.
I don't really care, man. So that's like saying, you know, Barcelona fans might say, let's swap Lamine Yamal with Rashford. Well, you know what I'm trying to say to you? Like, it makes no sense. Like, I couldn't give a damn what the Arsenal fans are saying. If they want to do that, that's their choice, isn't it? Bruno isn't blameless, but there has to be a balance. But that's exactly what I said when I came on. I'm not saying it's all on Bruno Fernandes. I've never said that. My point to you is the way that we're going with how we want to play, we want to keep possession, and he's incapable of doing that. because he's been playing for different managers and he's been given the freedom of Old Trafford to do what he wants. Now, my point to you is, if Bruno has to play a bit more conservative, you're going to see a decrease in his numbers. You will see a decrease in his numbers. Not to mention, we've got no more Casemiro. That was the main reason for why Bruno got a lot of these assists from the set pieces as well. Yeah, I would much prefer Bruno Fernandes playing his role and his numbers decrease if it meant that we were on our way to winning trophies. But you can see he gets numbers to the detriment of everyone else, and we're not winning nothing anyway. And yes, you can say it's the team, but as the comment earlier said, when we lose finals, it's the team. But then if we lift in the trophy, it's going to be Bruno. And there's no doubt in here that Bruno has played 2 Europa League finals. And before I forget as well, because this is something I wanted to mention, yeah, I'm going to run you through the Manchester United teams of the final in those Europa League finals, yeah? So against Villarreal, we had David De Gea in goal, Wan-Bissaka, Eric Bailly, Victor Lindelof, Luke Shaw, McTominay, Pogba, Greenwood, Bruno the captain, Marcus Rashford, and Edinson Cavani, yeah? That was the team against Villarreal. And Villarreal's team was Geronimo Rulli, Juan Foyth, Raul Albiol, Pau Torres, Alfonso Pedraza, Jeremy Pino, Etienne Capoue, Danny Parejo, Manu Trigueros, Gerard Moreno, and Carlos Bacca. You mean to tell me that Man United team that I just read out, you know, regardless of the manager, what, Bruno couldn't step up in that game as well as others? But again, Bruno the captain fantastic, was nowhere to be seen. Yeah. Then I go through the Spurs game, an absolute joke of a game, which with a joke of a manager as well in Ruben Amorim. The team was Onana, Lenny Yoro, Harry Maguire, Luke Shaw, Mazraoui, Patrick Dorgu, Casemiro, Bruno the captain, Ahmad, Mason Mount, Rasmus Højlund. Spurs team: Vicario, Porro, Romero, Van der Ven, Udogie, Bentancur, Bissouma, Papa Matasar, Brennan Johnson, Dominic Solanke, and Richarlison. The majority of that team almost got relegated. Yeah? But what happens? Again, not just on Bruno Fernandes. A lot of it was on Ruben Amorim. But what does Bruno do in that game? Nothing. Yeah? Then the FA Cup lost to Man City under Eric Ten Hag. David De Gea, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Rafael Varane, Victor Lindelof, Luke Shaw, Casemiro, Fred, Bruno the captain, Eriksen, Sancho, Rashford. Man City had Stefan Ortega, Carl Walker, Ruben Diaz, Manuel Akanji, John Stones, Rodri, Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, Ilkay Gundogan, Jack Grealish, and Erling Haaland. Yeah. So out of all those finals, you would say that, you know, that's probably been the strongest quartet of a team that we've probably played against. Yeah. But yet again, Bruno does nothing in that game. And yes, I've already spoken about the fact that he got the assist for Rashford, if that's what you want to live off. Yeah. But my thing to you is, guys, yeah, out of all 3 of these lineups that I've ran through, yeah, there's one constant. Well, sorry, there's 2 constants in there. One of them that we need to get rid of, but he's on big money for a left back. The other is Bruno Fernandes. So my point to you is, at what point do we just say, look, if you want to start raving about Bruno's numbers, cool. But at what point do we start saying maybe it's time to go in a different direction without Bruno Fernandes for all of his supposed numbers?
I think to a point, yeah, when the right time comes, and I think this season may be his last season, innit? But I think the club are probably going to move in that direction where his legs are kind of getting on. He's not getting any younger. So, cool, we'll move in a different direction. I don't think it'll be this season because it's coming. We need him for the season anyway. But there has to be a balance in it where, cool, there's the expectation of Bruno by default in it because of what he does. But there's also expectation of what United should be doing in it. And the lineups that you mentioned, what other players turned up in those finals? Because it can't just be so, all right, cool, we look at Bruno, but everyone else we don't say much on. There's players in that team Like, for example, in the Villarreal game, you had Rashford in that team. You had Cavani in that team. I know it was a finished Cavani, but you're still there. You had Bruno, you had Pogba, you had all these other players in the team. So there should be expectation. Mason Greenwood was in that team. So, like, everyone should be held accounted. That Tottenham team, that, like, even the Tottenham team, yeah, as much as, yeah, Bruno was in that, I thought Amram set up the whole team to fail. I don't think there was a game plan in that game at all. And even Ange,
I agree, yeah.
And even Ange, once he got that Buki Brennan Johnson goal, he got his goal. He knew it was like sharp. He's gonna sit back, close it up, and then just part of the bus. That's what it was. And then we had to kind of rely on not just Bruno, anyone trying to create a chance where it could have been Ahmad going past the player, but it was all getting nullified. In the FA Cup, Gundogan scored in 10 seconds in that game. Is that on Bruno Fernandes? Gundogan's volley against David De Gea within 10 seconds. I remember rushing home on that game. I'm thinking, 10 seconds we conceded. Are you taking like, yeah, like that's literally at kickoff. But then, all right, cool. Bruno scores a penalty in that same game to get it to 1-1, and then Gundogan hits another volley, and then David De Gea with a Bozo error causes an error. So it's like there's things that you can blame Bruno on, and then there's things where it's like it's out of his control. What more can he do? Like, he's not the goalkeeper. If the goalkeeper makes an error, how is that on Bruno? And if a centre back's getting skinned, is that on Bruno too? It's like we've got to be fair.
But bro, but again, no one is saying that anything is on Bruno. I'm precisely saying for all this hype that Bruno Fernandes gets, we cannot go away from the fact that the two biggest games that we've both agreed on is a final, and he hasn't shown up in both of them. So whether we want to say, the team hasn't shown up, the facts are, for all the hype that Bruno gets, he hasn't shown up. Because I can guarantee you this, if Bruno did show up in those games, we wouldn't hear the last of it. That's a fact. So my thing is to you, is it's not even about blaming Bruno, because there's things in games that you can't blame him. Like, it's not that, But he gets hyped up for his supposed numbers. And then when you need his numbers, he doesn't produce it when we need him.
But you do see it though through a season though, because if we're just gonna judge it on finals, then you might as well just look at that metric. But when you're looking even in the league, if he's not putting up a certain amount of numbers or contributing, or he's not involved, then you're like, what is Bruno doing? Because he's a like, all right, cool. You might not rate him as a number 10, but that's the position that he's been there to play in it. So you're gonna look towards something that he's doing within that pocket of the team. He's a creator. He should be getting players on the ball, should be creating chances. You kind of got to look at it like that, innit? But it depends to what you want to judge Bruno for, innit? I know what to judge Bruno on, which is creating chances and helping the team, not just obviously solely on stats. It's not even a stats thing, but there's a purpose for him.
Would you say though, would you say for all of his goals or assists, he's a negative in other areas as well?
Yeah, I can agree and say, like, for example, in build-up, I don't like seeing Bruno in build-up because he's not
terrible
one to play on a half turn, and he can get exposed in terms of he's not really that press-resistant type player where he can nibble out of certain things. Like, for example, you see Kobe Mino, I don't mind. We see when he gets pressed, that's probably the best thing of him because he can maneuver and get out. Yeah, he's so press-resistant. You can't get the ball from him. Like, you've seen it countless of times, like in the Man City game where he's just bopped past Semenyo or Rodri or Bernardo, so he can just get past him. It's easy for him. That's not Bruno's game in it, so I don't want to judge him on that in it because that's not his game. But bro,
but can you see now? Can you see just you saying about being press resistant? Being press resistant is part of possession-based football as well. So the fact that Bruno can't do that, and we've got Kobe who's press resistant. We've got Andre Santos who's press resistant. Tillemans is press resistant, and Baleba is not as good as those three, but it still is. And you see my point now, why he doesn't figure in this team. Because how are you going to have all those players that are that, and then you've got someone like him? Because my point to you is, what are we playing him in the team for? Is it just for GA?
GA is part of the game, whether you like it or not.
I agree. I agree, but if you look at all these midfielders that we have, he's the one that is least technically sound, I would say. in terms of technique and keeping possession of the ball. He's the one that is vulnerable in them situations. So my thing to you is, how do we want to play? Do we want to play for Bruno Fernandes and be gung-ho, or do we want to keep the ball? And if we want to keep the ball with what we've got in our team, there's better options. And I'm saying that, because the sign of Yuri Tillemans and him can play together, but then again, you don't want to see a midfield really of Tillemans, Kobe, and Bruno, because against better teams, who's going to be a number 6? Because Kobe can do it, but we know Kobe's better playing forward. Tillemans an 8, and Bruno plays support striker most of the time. So that's what I'm trying to say to you. So how do we want to play?
Well, I'm going from what Carrick's obviously been saying. He wants possession-based football, keeping the ball, and keeping the ball and more possession-based in it. But obviously, he wants us to be fluid within the attack. But I feel the way Carrick wants to go this season is more keeping the ball and nullifying teams having the ball at all in it. But we also need our players to obviously still be creative in that ilk. Like, there's still that expectation of Kobe to be a creative player where you want him in certain pockets of a situation of assisting or scoring goals. You need Kobe in those positions because that's why I feel you see the best of him. Like when you got that goal against Liverpool or the goal against Wolverhampton a couple seasons back, you want Kobe in those pockets where he can pick up the ball, go past one or two and score, because he can do that. Like even Tielemans as well, for example. Tielemans isn't like a mad defensive type player. Yeah, he can keep the ball and stuff like that, but Tielemans likes to score goals too, you know. Tielemans always likes to be in the final phase of play. He's done it countless times at Villa, done it for Leicester, does it for Belgium too. He's always involved when it comes to scoring goals or creating chances. So I think with the signing of him, I think it probably allows Bruno not to really be in that phase of having to connect play, because that's not his game. His game is more going forward, creating chances and being a nuisance, which he can do. But
I see it. I see it. I mean, in terms of, obviously, there's been talk about, Galatasaray being interested in Bruno. Yeah. Would you entertain that offer if you was Ineos, or would you give him a new contract?
I would look at it like this. I mean, his age, he's not getting any younger. If let's say they put 100 million on the table, I probably would do it. Only
but again, remember he had the release clause in it.
There is the 50 million release clause in it.
Yeah, but I'm not sure. I think that might have expired.
Expired. It did.
I was expired. Yeah. Okay. But again, let's say it off the basis, because for me personally, what I've always said about Bruno is, and it kind of tells you everything as well in itself. Yeah. The very fact that people are in love with his numbers, why is it that no top club has come in for him? Why do you think that is?
Because maybe they've got players in his position that does what he does. Maybe it's
but we're hearing for too long these fans are saying that he's the best number 10 in the world. And again, this is something that I've spoken about as well. A lot of fans don't even do their homework, because if you actually check it, there ain't even too many number 10s that play football now anyway.
There isn't number 10s.
There ain't. If you look at the Premier League, you have players that play predominantly as a 10. Cole Palmer, even though we know he's better on the right for Chelsea. Morgan Gibbs-White, Kiernan Dewsbury Hall, and Emile Smith-Rowe. They're the only players that predominantly play as a number 10 consistently for their clubs in the Premier League. Then you go to Germany. Jamal Musiala, obviously off the back of an injury. If you think of all the top teams. PSG, as we know, don't play with a number 10. They play with a 3. Real Madrid, as we know, Benham's a number 8. And again, I've spoken about him already. The fact that he plays as a 10 is embarrassing. Arda Güler should be playing there, really. He's a bad boy, Güler. And then you look at Barcelona, Dani Olmo, Fermin Lopez. So again, when people tell you that he's the best 10 in the world, it's actually not a true reflection, because who is his competition when you look at it? You know what I'm trying to say to you? So even things like that, we have to be skeptical of these things.
I feel numbers is a part of it, though, because he gets such a... No, I agree with the point where you're saying the numbers thing, but some fans are going to look towards that in terms of what is he doing on the pitch, in it. Like, the assists, the goals, numbers are going to be part of it. So, like, for example, Jude Bellingham will be in a conversation mainly because it's on numbers, not mainly on performances. It might because he scored a brace or something like that. That's why he might get in that conversation.
But again, yeah. Bellingham's not a numbers guy. Don't know where that's come from. He had one season where he plays a false nine because they had no striker and got numbers. What did he do? What's he done after the last couple of seasons? What's his numbers been?
But that's like Real Madrid.
He's not got more than 6 goals.
Yeah, exactly.
I believe.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Because they got a striker now. So I'm trying to say to you. But this is the thing, yeah. So when people are saying there's certain players that offer this, it's like just do your homework and watch and look at it, because Jude Bellingham has only had one outstanding season for numbers, but people assimilate him as getting goals, which is a lie. You see what I'm trying to say? So my thing with Bruno, it's like you can look at Bruno as some sort of an anomaly, but I've always said a lot of these come from the fact that, not to mention, he does play every game and he takes the majority of every set piece. That is my point. And again, to touch on this point as well that I wanted to get onto, yeah, because I think it might have been on Twitter. I'm not sure who it was, yeah, but someone said to me that you cannot replace Bruno's numbers. Yeah, and I'm gonna dispel that absolute myth. Yeah, why you can replace his numbers. So Bruno Fernandes, yeah, how many goals and assists do you reckon he averages in the Premier League a season? On average,
probably like, I want to say 6 to 8.
So 38 game season. How many goals and assists do you reckon he averages?
Probably like 8. I'm saying
so
that now.
It's a bit better than that. Yeah, he averages. Yeah. They reckon 10 goals and 10 assists in the Premier League a season.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, I'll tell you how you can replace Bruno's numbers. Yeah. And again, when people on Twitter are telling me that you cannot replace him and all that, and I purposely left it out for this. Who did we sign last summer in the attack?
Matheus Cunha.
And Brian
Sesko, yeah.
Right. So that's just 2 players, by the way. Yeah. Now, Matheus Cunha averages 12 goals and 5 assists for a total of 17. Yeah. Mbeumo averages 12 goals and 7 assists. So already, Bruno's total of what he averages in a Premier League season of 10 goals, 10 assists is 20. You combine Cunha and Mbeumo for what they average a season. Yeah, together, that's replaced Bruno Fernandes' numbers. Not to mention Sesko, Rashford, Ahmad should get more. Hopefully Xerxes stays. He'll chip in. That is how you replace numbers. So whenever I hear people tell me, that you cannot replace Bruno's numbers, what you do is that you take Bruno out of the team, you play a cohesive 3 in midfield, and you get goals from your other players. Because what would you rather, one player get 20 and everyone else struggling, or you've got 4 or 5 and they're getting about 50 to 60 between them? What's better?
The 15 to 16. But that's why I said, like, that's why I prefer like a fluid front 3 system where everyone's eating and everyone's just chipping in because you play your best football that way. So it's like, I'm not, like, for example, I'm not sold on one striker bagging 30 goals. That doesn't really, it's good, but I rather like a 15, you get 15, because it adds up better. It's a better total, innit? So I heard that in a sense where Mbeumo's numbers, Cunha's numbers, and even Sesko's numbers can outweigh maybe what Bruno does, but they still got to do it on a consistent basis of 38 games. You still need players.
Yeah, but don't you think off what you've seen so far, they can do that? They can.
Benji can.
So that's my point. You can replace Bruno's numbers with 3 or 4 players getting the same numbers that he was getting. So that's why I always say, his numbers can be replaced. And I would rather personally, having a better cohesive midfield and getting his numbers replaced by the whole front line. This is why I'm telling you, his necessity ain't there, because it's not like he's a crazy footballer. When we talk about Bruno, people talk about his GA. His GA can be replaced just like that, because Cunha and Mbeumo we know we're getting every season from them. They're not going to score loads of goals, but they're going to average out what Bruno's given to us anyway.
But they're not as creative in terms of putting the ball in a certain places or finding that key pass.
But Yuri Tillemans, this is why Yuri Tillemans. Because Yuri Tillemans can do that.
Tillemans can do that, but does he do it to the same volume as what Bruno can do?
I believe he could. Yeah, I
think he could. Obviously, because he plays for our club now, so it's like,
yeah,
it's the best of both worlds, isn't it? Because like, cool, you got Bruno who can do what he does, but then you've got Tillemans that can still unlock a game as well. So I know what you mean. It's like it benefits us, but I know what you mean. Like for Bruno, does Tillemans do more for the team in terms of keeping the ball, dictating things like that? But he more suits that role better than Bruno, because I don't think Bruno's a dictator. He's not. He's more.
But that's why I say the Bruno necessity isn't there for him to be there. That's my whole point, and that's because of the sign of Tillemans, because Tillemans can do what Bruno does, you know. And again, he's someone that can. He's more reliable at keeping the ball, because we know what Bruno's going to do when the game's going against United. Bruno's going to revert to type and think that he can do everyone's job. And again, in pre-season, you can see he's already coming to the team. And he's trying to take the ball off players' toes, and he's disrupting the whole rhythm of the game. It's not a surprise, man. I'm telling you. So, listen, I'm not here to try and convince anyone to agree with me, yeah. But I'm just trying to give you a different angle. You know what I mean?
I think Bruno's a baller with what he does, innit? I just think with what he can do in a game, I can't say he's a bad footballer or he's not effective. I feel when you play to his strengths, like anyone else, you get the best out of him. But Bruno's done things that have been effective. There have been bits where, cool, in certain cup finals, could you have done better? Yes, but could the team around have done a lot better? Like if Bruno's not doing it, who else has been doing it? It's like that, innit? So it's like I can't just say, it's solely on Bruno, which I know you're not saying, but it's like because of the expectation hype he gets, I get what you mean in terms of if you're that good, then why haven't you delivered on the biggest stage so far in it? But it's like we need to be in better situations. Like, cool, the Europa League's there, but you want to be in the Champions League final, innit? You want to be competing in the Premier Leagues. That's what we're gonna judge it on. By primarily,
I don't believe we can do that with Bruno Fernandes. I don't think we can with the way that he plays. Yeah, you've only got and again, people are gonna say, well, he's got to have the team around him. Like it's always gonna be some sort of excuse. With the way that Bruno plays against the top teams, he will be a liability. He'll be a liability, especially with the way he plays, because in that number 10 position where he's supposed to occupy against the best teams, you need someone that is technically sound, press resistant in them tight areas, because that's where the difference is made in games, in tight games, you know, against the PSGs, against the Barcelonas, the Real Madrids, and he isn't good enough in that area of the pitch to make a difference. So this is my point. So we're never going to win a Champions League, you know, with a Bruno Fernandes, regardless of what team we have. We're not going to do that, because when it comes to crunch time, he ain't going to be that player to try and get in between the lines and get us playing, because he ain't that kind of player.
But wouldn't you say if United are not signing the right players and we're not playing a right brand of football, we're never going to be in those situations anyway? Because if Man United signed the right players, he wouldn't be here. In that sense,
that's my point.
I mean, we're starting to sign right players now, innit? Like, all right, cool.
We are, and that's why I'm saying he shouldn't be here.
I mean,
you see where I'm coming from?
But if he's doing well, it does benefit us anyway. So if he pops up with a goal against Hull, you're gonna celebrate. I'm celebrating, and then we walk away 3 points. That's the main thing. Of course, bro. Listen, it goes without saying, man. If Man United are winning games, I know you don't hate Bruno. I know you don't hate Bruno. It's never a hate. It's never a person. Yeah. I don't even. It's a preference thing. I hear it. We all got preferences. I might like a Lamborghini. You might like a Porsche. It's like it's different, isn't it?
Lambo, man. Lambo, come on, Lambo.
Like, come on, bro. No, I hear it, bro. I hear it. And I can agree with certain things that you put out. Like, is Bruno a press resistant player? Not really, but can Bruno win me a game? Yeah, he can. More time or not, can he win me? Like, I just think he can, in it, in terms of like with a goal or two in it. Like, if a game's dead, Bruno can do something in terms of like, all right, cool. It might be a bit of a hoofball thing, but he can try something in it. And you always want players involved maybe in that. Maybe it sounds a bit like counter-attacking, but you want the 3 points in the end, innit? And that's what it's going to come down to, innit? Because if he's not doing that, then what are you really doing? You're kind of looking redundant, innit? It's like that. And I get what you're saying with like Tielemans can kind of like take that away from him, Boomer and Cunha, because they can all do a bit of what you do in it. Like what you're bringing to the team is not really unique, or you're not really adding a piece that's what we're missing in it. But I think at some point we will move him on, definitely. Every team goes through a transitional period. Look at Liverpool. They're not going to have Salah. He's like a 30, 40 season goal player. They're going to have to find another way of dealing without having the talisman. And that's what Bruno kind of is for us, but in a different way, innit? It's like, but obviously...
Again, Liverpool's a prime example. They've got to find a different way.
Yeah.
You know, and again, Salah, no one really is going to replicate really the numbers that Salah got. But again, whatever Salah's averaging, you can get that from about 3 or 4 players, and then you've got his numbers there. Yeah, that's how football works. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. But just to wrap this bit up, I mean, before we move on, Bruno Fernandes, would you give him a new contract or let him see it out, or sell him?
I'll sell him for the right price.
What's the right price?
I'd run me 100 million or 110, and then we can move on.
But bro, remember we had that offer.
I know the 50 million in it, but don't you think that's a bit mad?
No. We had it. Remember, we had it from last season.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. But he broke the record in it, so it's like there was still a little bit more juice in the tank in it. But I know what you mean. Like there was like a high offer coming, but he even said he didn't want to leave at that moment in it, and maybe wanted to see out the contract. But
shouldn't have been in his hands. Ineos should have just fucked him off. Should have. Telling you, we're not going to be getting 100 million for him again. And the biggest problem that I can see, if they was to give him a new contract, it's a disgrace. It's a disgrace because remember they said they want to try and control the wage bill. You've got a guy who's 32, and he's only going to decline from here because Bruno's flat-footed. He's not really a player that. I mean, his best attribute really is his energy. You know, that's going to decline with age as well. So my thing is, why would you give someone like him more money for what exactly? If you want to say, he had the record-breaking season, it would be the best time to cash in on him now. You know what I mean? He's 32, by the way. As much as I don't rate him, if he was like 26, 27, you'd be like, okay, like I can see it. But he's 32 come the start of the season, and United are thinking about giving him more money. I don't get that. And again, that will show that there's no ambition there because, again, what kind of way is the team looking to go? Because if we're looking to go possession based with what we've got already, he doesn't figure, or unless he's going to be an impact sub or play a different position, which we know is not going to happen. So this is why I've always said we should be moving him on and strengthening that midfield, which we have done, and obviously buying players for the other positions as well. But if they give him more money and give him a longer contract, I don't want to hear no one tell me when he declines, and we can't get rid of him. I think it's important to see the bigger picture and just say, look, regardless of who rates him or not, he's done his time at the club. He's done his service. It's time to move him on and go in a different direction. And that's what I believe needs to happen.
No, I agree. I think maybe this season will be his last, and then probably I'll move on after this season because every team goes through a transition period where you move on players, innit? No player is like you can replace any player. I'll be honest. Like if the team is struck, if the board sign the right players and you get the right recruitment, you can always replace players, innit? Like it's not like say, Bruno is irreplaceable. You can replace him, but will the club? Do you trust Ineos to replace him and sign the right players to play the right football and back Michael Carrick if he's the guy to do it? So it's one of them ones. I'm watching Ineos closely, innit? Like we're signing the right players right now, but I need you to keep doing that. I need you to get the right bargains and put us in that conversation because we need that title. So like, that's the
100. 100, bro. And again, if Man United are winning trophies, we're happy. You know what I'm trying to say?
I'll be the shameless guy on the internet. I'll be on your stream being the most shameless guy. Trust me.
Right.
I'll be cussing every team. Like
we both will, man. We both will. That's all we want, innit?
Yeah, exactly. We all want United back together, man. Make United great again, man. That's the main thing. So all these other teams, nah. You see that team there? That's my team. That's my team.
Bro, there you go, man. There you go. Let me just go through some of these comments quickly. Guys, make sure you're smashing the like button as well, and make sure you're subbing to the channel if you're new. And again, I'll be putting TMJ's his socials in the description once the stream has ended. And as I said, guys, if you want to join the Discord as well, obviously we are going to do our weekly predictions. Obviously, Premier League kicking off this Friday, Arsenal and Coventry. So yeah, we're going to do our predictions. They have to be in by Friday at 12 o'clock. So if any of the mods have got the link for the Discord, then put that in the chat. And if anyone wants to join the Discord, then yeah, it should be good. Let's just go through some of these. Let's see. Is Tielemans consistent enough to do it every game? He's one of the best players in the Premier League. So again, what is the consistent that you want him to do?
Do you know
That's what I would like to know.
The conception with Tielemans that I don't like. He hasn't got legs. He can't get about the pitch. I feel it's just so flawed. It's like they judge it as
lazy. That's what it is.
Yeah, they want to say that he's lazy. It's like, do you watch? I'm not even going to explain to you. If you haven't been watching him, then I'm not going to explain it to you because I know you ain't been watching him. When he's been doing this thing at Villa with Victor Lindelof in the midfield, and you're telling me, is he not that good of a midfielder? You ain't been watching him then. He's been doing it from Leicester, from Anderlecht days. He's playing against Michael Carrick, funny enough, in the Europa League. So it's like, if you haven't been following his career, then you're not going to know the baller that he is. And that's a still of a signer, man.
Bro, you know how funny it was now, yeah? This is going back to the days of Football Manager, champ manager, yeah? Yuri Tielemans was rated as one of the best young players in the world when he was leaving Anderlecht. He was rated that highly. That's how long he's been about. So he was always destined to be playing for a big team. Yeah. It's just that, for whatever reason, it never happened early on. But now he's at Man United and he's 28, 29, yeah? We have got an absolute steal for 35 million because I never knew he had that release clause in his contract.
I didn't know that either. Like,
and as I said, the fact that we've got him is crazy. You know what I'm trying to say? So
he's gonna damage the season, man. I can see it already, man. Once he gets fully fit, he will do wonders. 100
million. He had a release clause of 50 million, and nobody activated it. Big up to Fitz, man. But there you go. And this is why I said now, yeah, we missed the boat in selling him for 100 mil, and I always look at what clubs are in for who. For as much as Bruno Fernandes is hyped, no serious team has ever come in for him. None. I've never heard of a player that is meant to be rated as one of the best in the world and not at least one top club has come in for him. PSG, Bayern Munich, Barcelona, Real Madrid. There's been speculation, but that's just coming from.
There was a bit of speculation of Real Madrid at one point in it, but that might have been the only thing.
Yeah, but again, speculation. These guys have never put down any money. They haven't. And again, the reason I'm saying that is because if you look at the fact that he's rated as the best 10 in the world, we're being told, one of the best players in the world, why is it no top team has ever come in for him, put in bids? They come in for Eden Hazard. They come in for Philip Coutinho, Luis Suarez, Van Persie, all these players. But yet they've never come in for Bruno Fernandes. And we're meant to believe that this guy, is the second coming of Eric Cantona. They were trying to tell us. Absolute lie, man. Absolute lie, man.
But everyone gets their big move in it. I just think Bruno's big move was this in it, and you can hold on to a player longer than you maybe should have. So it's like Bayern. I've looked at Bruno at some stage, but who knows? He could maybe go Bundesliga. You just never know, innit? There could be something else. But I know what you mean in terms of like they were obviously the Real Madrids, the Barcelonas, isn't it? Like those are like the elks of big teams, in it. But I think we've had Bruno for long enough to say, all right, cool, we can move you on probably now, in it, because you've been there for like 8 years, isn't it? So it's like,
but that's exactly what I'm saying, bro. Exactly what I'm saying. Like, because I'll be honest with you, yeah. If they was to give him more money and a new contract, it's probably the worst thing Ineos have done.
I hear it.
You know, especially what they've been saying as well. You know, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, if you, as much as I want to see him leave, yeah. If they was to say, look, it's his last season, I'll be like, it's frustrating, but it is what it is. Giving him more money and a new contract makes no sense. It makes no sense. But yeah, guys, this is the Discord, yeah. So if you guys want to jump onto the Discord, then yeah, by all means, man, come through. And I say we'll be doing our predictions come Friday. Right, let's move on to the next thing we want to discuss, innit? So again, Marcus Rashford, you know, and again, I'm not going to spend too much time on Rashford because we all know Rashford, you know, would have been moved on, but the wages, you know, are a massive stumbling block. You know, my preference would be to get rid of Rashford because the wingers that I want, the left wingers I wanted, Iliman and Jai, I wanted. I would love us to get Ibrahim Mbaye from PSG, but I think he might be going to Liverpool. You know, so I will definitely move on Rashford. But as we know, and I think it's pretty pointless just going over old ground, yeah. He is going to stay because I think, again, no one's going to come in and pay him what he wants, and United chose to give him that wage, and why should he give it up? He shouldn't have to. So as much as I would like to move him on, he's going to stay for me. And Rashford, for me, he will give United something, especially off the bench, because I don't believe Carrick's gonna I don't believe he can come back from having his number 10 taken away from him from Cunha, and then all of a sudden him just starting at left wing ahead of Cunha. I don't see that happening because I personally don't see that happening because how are you going to keep Cunha happy by doing that? Because Cunha really has come in to replace Rashford, and all of a sudden he'd be on the bench if that was to happen. But when you've got someone like him on big money, how can you justify keeping him on the bench for too long? That's the problem. Yeah. But again, I'm just gonna share my screen again just quickly and just run through Rashford's numbers. Yeah. So again, made his debut in the 15-16 season, 11 appearances in the Premier League, 5 goals, 2 assists. Europa, 3 appearances, 2 goals, 0 assists. FA Cup, 4 appearances, 1 goal, 0 assists. Sorry, give me 1 minute. Yeah, so 2016 to 17, Premier League, 32 appearances, 5 goals, 1 assist. Europa League, 11 appearances, 2 goals, 4 assists. Carabao, 6 appearances, 1 goal, 1 assist. 17-18, Premier League, 35 appearances, 7 goals, 5 assists. Champions League, 8 appearances, 3 goals, 1 assist. 8 appearances in the Cup, 3 goals, 2 assists. 18-19 season, 33 appearances, 10 goals, and 6 assists. Champions League, 10 appearances, 2 goals, 1 assist. FA Cup, 4 appearances, 1 goal, 1 assist. 19-20 season, probably his best season to date. 31 appearances, 17 goals, 7 assists. Europa League, 6 appearances, 3 goals, 0 assists. Cups, 7 appearances, 2 goals, 1 assist. 2021 season, 37 appearances, 11 goals, 9 assists. Champions League, 6 appearances, 6 goals, 0 assists. Europa League, 7 appearances, 2 goals, 0 assists. Cups, 8 appearances, 1 goal, 3 assists. 21-22, Premier League, 25 appearances, 4 goals, 2 assists. Champions League, 5 appearances, 1 goal, 0 assists. FA Cup, 2 appearances, 0 goals, 0 assists. 22-23, Premier League, 35 appearances, 17 goals, 5 assists. Europa League, 9 appearances, 6 goals, 2 assists. Carabao, 6 appearances, 6 goals, 2 assists. Decent, that one. 23-24, Premier League, 33 appearances, 7 goals, 2 assists. Champions League, 4 appearances, 0 goals, 2 assists. FA Cup, 5 appearances, 1 goal, 1 assist. 24-25, the last season. Premier League, 15 appearances, 4 goals, 1 assist. Europa League, 6 appearances, 1 goal, 1 assist. FA Cup, 3 appearances, 2 goals, and 1 assist. Now, for me, yeah, for a guy that's getting paid 325 grand a week, yeah. And again, I'm not here saying that Rashford is a bad player. I don't think he's a bad player. I think he's a good player that's been hyped up to a level that he was never at. You know, maybe it was feeding the kids. I don't know. Yeah. But what I will say, yeah, is that putting the fact that he's going to come back because of the ways to the side. When I hear people say to me, yeah, and it's again, just to make it clear, yeah, I am not comparing Joshua Zirkzee and Marcus Rashford. That has never come out of my mouth, yeah. But when I'm hearing people criticize Joshua Zirkzee when there's no context involved, saying that he's got 4 goals in 2 seasons, Marcus Rashford has played in the Premier League for 10 seasons, as you've just seen there. He's got 87 league goals. Now, again, I need to know, is that acceptable? That's all I want to know. TMJ, is that acceptable to have 87 goals in 10 seasons? Be honest.
I mean, it can be acceptable because he puts up numbers. It's not like say he doesn't put numbers. I know you could say, all right, cool, it should be better, but within modern time, we haven't had better than Rashford. That's the reality. We actually haven't. No one has actually scored more goals than he has within the league, maybe other cup competitions. The only player that you could say has come close to put up maybe more numbers is Bruno, and he's not even an attacker, but he's put up numbers in it. With Rashford, my thing is, I feel United maybe, no, not even United, maybe. United have put him at an ilk where, cool, you can say United fans have gassed him up to a point. That's one factor, but the club haven't really put the best, I don't know, it's not even the best players, but you haven't built around him. And I'm not saying to build around wrong player, but it's like when things are not going his way, you're relying on him solely, but others have still got to chip in. So like this season, this is probably like the one season where I'm like, all right, cool. It doesn't have to be solely on Rashford. Cunha will probably start ahead of him, but Rashford coming into the team still makes an impact. With the goal situation, I think he's produced goals. He scored goals regardless. Last season, he had a very good season at Barcelona in terms of scoring goals. I think he averaged out more numbers than our attackers last season. So it's like, what are we going to sit here and say Rashford hasn't been a good player for United? It's false. I'll be honest. It's like
I'm not saying he hasn't. You know what I mean? Do I think he's been overrated in a sense? I do. Yeah, but I'm just gonna put this back up on the screen again. Yeah. So when we're saying that he's got numbers, yeah, he has had probably in terms of the Premier League, yeah, he's had 2 outstanding. Well, I say outstanding, yeah. He has had 2, you would say, decent seasons. And when I say decent, yeah, 17 goals in 2 campaigns is not outstanding. It's just decent, yeah. So when again, let's get this straight, yeah. Let's get this straight. 87 goals in 10 seasons is not good. I don't know what we're doing there. It is not good for someone that's played Premier League football for 10 years. If I've never seen football in my life, and I'm seeing a guy and I'm seeing his stats, and I'm seeing he's got 87 goals, Premier League goals in 10 years, that is shit. Like it's not a conversation. Bro, you know it's rubbish. Come on.
I mean, what's been better though? I mean, like for United, yeah. What can we say and say? We've had better players.
Forget United, yeah.
Cool.
Just is 87 in 10 seasons good? Forget United. Bro, you know it's not good.
It's not the best, though. It's not the best. I'm not gonna say it's world class or anything. Like Rashford's had world class moments, but I'm not gonna be like, he's like obviously the best winger in the world. I'm not gonna say that, but he's a good player and he can put numbers. That's just my thing. Yeah. Can Rashford get 10 goals or 10 to 15 goals in the season? Yes.
I agree. I agree. Yeah, I agree. He can. But again, 10 years in the Premier League to only have 87 goals is not good.
Yeah, but
it doesn't matter what if anyone wants to argue it. Yeah, it is not good. He averages 8 goals a season for someone that's on 325. Yeah, and again, granted, he has had 2 good campaigns,
Yeah.
But to only have 87 league goals, you know, in 10 seasons, not even reaching the 100-goal barrier, it's not good. It can't be good.
But he can get the 100-goal barrier this season, though. If he gets,
he can do. He can do.
If he gets 15 goals, he can break that.
But he's had 10 seasons and he hasn't hit that barrier yet.
But most players don't even get to 100 goals in the Premier League. Like, unless you're Erling Haaland, like he's a free killer. So it's like, even using him as like a mad example. But unless you're a really killer of a marksman, you're not going to get to that. There's certain players are not even going to get to Rashford's numbers, even in this club. So it's like, you're saying that's bad in 10 seasons, but he started at 18 and cool, he's been there for quite a while. Yeah, 10 years, touching 11. But that's still, I don't think it's the worst. I've seen worse numbers than that. Like, I'll be honest, I've seen worse numbers. So it's like, he's still scored over 100 goals for United, by the way. Like, that's just a Premier League record.
I know, but I'm talking about Premier League, bro. Goals. Premier League is your bread and butter.
No, 100%. Yeah, 100%. But
so, bro, I'm just gonna run you through. I'm just gonna run you through it now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, there's 35 players who have scored 100 or more goals in the Premier League. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It took Erling Haaland 111 appearances.
Mm-hmm.
So that's roughly about what, 30?
Yeah, roughly
3 seasons, you would say?
Yeah, three seasons. Yeah.
Alan Shearer, it took 124. Harry Kane, 141. Aguero, 147. Henry, 160. Salah, 162. Ian Wright, 173. Robbie Fowler, 175. Les Ferdinand, 178. Owen and Andy Cole, 185. Yeah. Now, all those players as well, I'll bear you in mind, yeah, are all on less money than Rashford as well.
Yeah, but you got to take her into account. Like, he got that mega deal off scoring 30 goals in it in all competitions. He got off a mad season, so that's not his fault. The club gave him that money, so it's like, if there's any blame, you look at the club in it. But all right, cool. People say he's not worth that money, but I just think it is what it is in that situation because you gave him that lucrative deal. Same way you gave Bruno Fernandes 300k a week. So it's like,
it's not his fault. It's the club that handed him the contract.
Exactly.
But all I'm saying, for a guy to be 10 seasons in the Premier League with the hype that he has been given throughout his career since he jumped on, he should be having more than 100 goals. I'm sorry, he should be
more than 100 goals.
He should have hit the 100-goal barrier. Yeah,
but he should have far off it though. So it's like, if he had something like 50 goals, I'll be like, all right, cool. That's a bit like, but like 87, I don't think it's the worst because most people don't even hit 100 goals in the Premier League now.
Okay, I'll carry on. Yeah,
like Teddy Sheringham,
Jamie Vardy, Van Persie, Hasselbank, Son, Robbie Keane, Anelka, Dwight York, Raheem Sterling, Lukaku, Steven Gerrard, Dion Dublin. He's allowed Dion Dublin to get in there. Sadio Mane, Emil Heskey, Ryan Giggs, Peter Crouch, Paul Scholes, Darren Bent, Didier Drogba, Cristiano Ronaldo, Frank Lampard, Wayne Rooney, Matt Letizia. They're all the players in the 100 club. Yeah. And as I said to you, it's a case of I can guarantee you this now. It took all these players less than 10 seasons to do.
Fair enough. I get that point, but it's like different teams, different systems. It's like, all right, cool. I can say in that list, how many of those players are wide players? Because the mad wide players you said, Salah, Mane,
so you've got Salah, you've got Son, Raheem Sterling, Mane, Giggs, Ronaldo.
That's about
but as we know as well, football now, the majority of the goals do come from out wide.
They do.
Yeah, so
they do. I don't think it's as bad as what you're making it out. Like 87 is not bad. I'll be honest. Like if it was half that, cool. But I think he can get that this season. Like if Man United are playing good, he's gonna score goals regardless, isn't it? And I think at this point now, would I rather spend money on, I don't know, let's say for example, if it's Njai. Njai's not a high volume goal scorer. He's not. He's one of my ballers as well, but he's not a high volume goal scorer and he's not as clinical as Rashford. So him on the money. The only thing is the money. If he was on, I don't know, let's say half of that and it was 150, probably no one would care because 150 grand a week is more.
You're right. You're right. Yeah, you're right.
But because you're on such big money, there's going to be that demand for you to deliver week to week out. But I feel now because we've bolstered the attack and we've got players that we don't have to just rely on Rashford. You got Cunha, you got Sesko, you got Mbumo, Bruno can chip in. Dogu now and again. If Xerxes in the right tune, if you keep him or whoever else is in the attack, you can rely on them to get goals too. Even Tielemans can chip in. But I still think it's a good problem to keep. I'm here for him to stay because he's one of my ballers, isn't it? So it's like, I don't have an issue with Rashford. I just think people can obviously be very harsh at times. Could he apply himself better? Obviously. But I just think United haven't been the best. I just think a lot of the fan base are just more divided between against him. But fans can be fickle. If he scores a brace against Hull City, you're celebrating Rashford anyway. So it's like,
of course, it's not even about Rashford, bro. Yeah, I'll be honest. Yeah, I don't dislike Rashford. It's not about that. Yeah, I'm just trying to compare when I hear someone say that 4 goals in 2 years is bad, but yet 87 in 10 years in 10 seasons is acceptable. How can that be? That's what I'm saying.
But do you think Xerxes' numbers will get better though?
Bro, not only do I think Xerxes' numbers can improve, we have to. It's the same thing that I'm telling you about Bruno Fernandes not suiting the way that Carrick wants to play. Joshua Xerxes the other way. The kind of football that we're playing suits him because it's possession based. I'm not saying that Joshua Xerxes is going to score 30 goals a season. He's not going to do that. He isn't that type of player. But what he does is that as a false 9, he's the pivot and he will allow the goals from wide areas to come because he can hold the ball. He's unselfish. Someone like Rashford is going to thrive off of Xerxes. Rashford will thrive more off Xerxes than he will Mbuemo or Sesko.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he definitely will.
Because Xerxes wants to drop in and link the play. Xerxes' numbers can improve, but it just needs to be looked at and say, what are you expecting from Xerxes? Because if you're expecting Xerxes to start hitting Erling Haaland numbers, that's never going to happen.
Yeah, it's not.
Just like Erling Haaland can't do what Xerxes does.
So
you know what I'm trying to say? There's got to be a balance and there's got to be context. So I'm purely using Rashford as an example because the person that said to me Xerxes getting 4 goals in 2 years without no context, it doesn't make sense that you can have no context for Xerxes getting 4 goals in 2 seasons, but then yet when I ask you is 10 goals is 87 in 10 seasons, you don't want to answer the question. Because the facts are, I was going to say the facts are that isn't good. 87 in 10 seasons, it's not. Just clearly isn't.
We have to agree to disagree because I think that's a bit harsh because it's like what other attackers are hitting his numbers within this team. So, like for example, we signed Mbumo off scoring 20 goals. Has Mbumo replicated that from last season? No, he scored a good amount, but his numbers dropped off. Same as with Cunha. I think Cunha hit. I think there was a stat saying Cunha was the highest goal scoring Brazilian before he joined Man United and that he was at Wolves. He's come to United. Obviously, he's had a good season, no doubt. But your numbers have dropped off. So there's still that expectation. I'm expecting you to outscore. If these guys are better than Rashford, then I'm expecting you to produce more than the guy that you're better than, innit? But if others haven't hit past 17 goals, then how are you better? It's like that. And I'm not saying 17 is a mad number, but still, we haven't had an attacker that's outdone what he's done. Like, we just haven't. Like, there hasn't been one. Maybe, cool, Zlatan for that one season, but it's like, he's a world-class striker. You're not going to sign a world-class striker. There isn't strikers of that ilk anymore. You're not finding that no more because football's moved kind of past that a little bit. So it's like, cool, people have their differences with Rashford, but does Rashford have qualities? Yes. Can he win me games? Yes. And I think we're not going to be so reliant on him this season, which is fine. And I don't think there's going to be that pressure on him to say he has to deliver week in, week out because there's others that will take on that pressure as well. It's not just him. But Rashford can more impact and score goals, man. I got no doubt about that.
I've got no doubt that Rashford can chip in. But for me, it's not even important if Cunha or Mbuemo hit 17 goals. They both can hit more goals, don't get me wrong. But it goes back to the whole thing I said about replacing numbers. If I've got Cunha, Mbuemo, Ahmad, Sesko, Xerxes, all giving me, 10 to 15 goals, that's going to be better than what Bruno would give me individually or a Rashford. So again, it's not even so much about that. As I said to you before, when you're saying that no one's hit what Rashford has got, yes, Rashford's hit those numbers twice, but again, it's more of a case of he's on 325k a week, Granted, the club gave him that money, but my thing is, it's more about just in comparison. His numbers for all the 2 good seasons that he's had, collectively over 10 seasons, that still isn't great. That is my point. Do I think he can come back this season and add to what United are doing at the moment? 100% I do. He can get goals, but we all know he wouldn't have been there if he was on a less wage. So we have to look at the wage and think, right, are you going to be giving us what we need in irrespective of that wage? I don't think he can.
I think he can if he's applied correctly and doing the right things, it will work. Because if Rashford's a confidence player, I think we could all agree on that. He's a confidence player, and when he's on it, or when he's on, even if it's a good bit of form, he will produce something. Like, it won't take a lot for it to get going, especially if we're playing good football. Like, attacking players, you don't really need to do much. If you're playing good football, they'll make it work. So Carrick wants to work with him, and he's come out and said that. This is not even me saying that. That's Carrick. He wants to work with Rashford. So if Carrick wants him at the club and wants him to be a part of the squad and do what he can do, then because if Rashford's playing better than Cunha, Rashford will start games. Like, it won't just be a thing where Cunha's starting every game and can have games where he's ghosting out of games and not doing anything. You've got another guy that's going to be on your tail, and I think that's how it should be. Everyone should be,
of course.
No one should be starting, competent for places. Like, I need even Xerxes looking at Sesko and saying, "I want your spot because I want you to do better." That's how you make a better balance for a team, because you want guys being a bit uncomfortable for their position. No one's a guaranteed starter unless you're the goalkeeper. Lemons, in it. That's about it. But everyone.
No, bro, listen, I 100% agree with you. I agree. It should be that. It should be competition for places. Yeah, 100. I'm just purely alluding to the fact of, it's got to be context when you're saying 4 goals in 2 seasons and 87 in 10 seasons is good enough. That is all I'm saying. But do I think Rashford, if he does stay, can have a contribution? 100%. I do believe that. And if he's having a contribution, Man United are doing good things. That's what I want to see. I want to see us, there's still time in the window, but I want to see us making, a good challenge on his Premier League title, man, because, at this moment in time, I hate to say it again, but Arsenal are the favourites with the business that they've done with Bruno G, Ezri Konsa, Zolis looks decent, and it pains me to say that, but they're looking decent, but so are we, and we can still get some more players in as well. You know what I'm trying to say? So that's what I'm looking at. And to go on to this comment here, 35 players. Think about how many attackers the Premier League has seen. Listen to the names you are mentioning. Remember, Rashford is only a good player, not a world-class one. And again, I agree with this. Yeah, he is a good player, not a world-class one. That is my basis of Rashford. Yeah, but he's getting paid world-class money, whether it's his fault or not. He's still getting paid world-class money, being only a good player, And as I said to you, 35 players, but I can guarantee you, those 35 players have all reached the 100 goal mark before 10 seasons, and that's the point. That's the point I'm trying to make. Let's go to some of these questions. Big up to Clockenders, says got drama at the moment. Be in touch soon, Gav. Yeah, big up, man. Big up yourself. Big up for the super chat as well. So yeah, guys, Clockenders is an Arsenal fan, so he's gonna be looking to come on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, and we got our show called Devil and the Gunner. So that should be a good one. He's a vivid Arsenal fan. I'm Man United, so that's sure to be a heated discussion back and forth. So yeah, but yeah, let me know, man, when you're ready. And yeah, we'll get that pattern for sure. Looks like Baleba is now 70 million plus 6. Boy, I've not heard that. Can anyone? Is there any real? Is there any real quotes, guys, from that? Because I've not seen that myself. Heskey and Dublin are a violation. That's what I'm trying to say, Fitz. But Rashford's allowed Heskey and Dublin to be in there.
But Heskey wasn't a bad player, though. This is the thing. Like Heskey in his prime was actually pretty good. Like, not saying he was world class, but he got Darren Bent wasn't a bad player. These were Darren Bent in this era would be better than most of these strikers. You know, I hope like these are not bad strikers. You know, like right now what we're seeing of certain strikers, man, I'm seeing Gyökeres, bro. Like that is a bad striker. Like that is not. When I people trying to defend that guy and you're saying like Heskey,
he's toilet, man.
Like,
he's toilet. Man. Yeah, listen,
man.
Players like that. I want to erase them players from my memory, man, because yeah. But again, yeah, Heskey and Dublin, man, that's taking the piss. And Heskey was decent, but we all know the England national. We all know the England national team just used him because Owen was there, innit? We all know.
Yeah, literally, he was more of a utility striker, man.
It took Dion Dublin 11 seasons, by the way, Gav, and Dion Dublin was shit, by the way. That guy's only best known for Homes Under the Hammer. He should stay there, man. But that guy's rubbish, yeah. But what I will tell you now, yeah. It's Rashford's 11th season, so he's going to be equaling Dion Dublin. So Dion Dublin, in a way, has still beaten him.
But Dion Dublin can't chat to Rashford in terms of technical ability and that. If we're going to go on that, man.
Well, come on, of course we know that. We know that. You know what I mean? But Dublin's there still. So until Rashford gets there, I can't be hearing chat on Dublin's name, unfortunately, from that because yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy, but. That's funny. Listen, if Rashford gets it this season, it's going to be good for us. That's what I'm saying, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
It took Giggs 18 seasons. Yeah, but again, Giggs was playing in the 4-4-2 era where his job was to be a wide man to create and cross. Rashford's playing as an inside forward where goals, as we know.
Heskey 15.
It took Scholes and Gerrard 16, Heskey 15. But again, you're mentioning central midfielders, so that's dumb. That's actually dumb, yeah? Because you've mentioned one winger in Giggs, and Giggs played a 4-4-2 era.
What's his name? Is it Jeremy?
Jeremy, listen. Jeremy, when you come on there, yeah, come correct because yeah, I've got the answers here because mentioning Giggs, yeah, an all-time Premier League great, yeah. Giggs was in a 4-4-2 era playing left wing. His job wasn't to score goals. Marcus Rashford plays left wing, inside forward, and we know that goals come from wide areas. You have to understand that. So to put Giggs, and you're doing it with Scholes and Gerrard and Heskey and Lampard, yeah, Heskey's a striker, but we know Heskey wasn't known for goals. Lampard, Gerrard, and Scholes are all central midfielders. So again, it's irrelevant putting them names on there.
But you could even say Lampard was more of a goal scorer midfielder anyway. He put up numbers same way. I know he was a CM, but brother, he was more behind Drogba anyway, more time. So he's gonna be involved in numbers. And he was.
I know, but mentioning Lampard with Rashford, just do it for like players. Put it this way, yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
If it took Mo Salah 10 seasons, I can't say nothing. You see what I'm trying to say? Because Mo Salah was a wide forward. Rashford's a wide forward. It didn't take Mo Salah 10 seasons. That's my point. So, yeah, I don't know. Listen, we're not going to agree, man, but sometimes I think common sense needs to prevail in these kind of things, man. 87's got in 10 seasons is good enough when you compare it to the guys that are in the 100 club. Listen, if you think that, then that's your opinion. It's mad, but let's see this. Jeremy, that 10 season thing's really not sitting right with you in it, bro. I know, I hear it though. Gav, you need to clarify them man did it in less games, but set man took them 10. But bro, listen, bro. Listen, I'm losing the will to live, man. That's what I'm saying, because yeah, we could be here all night, you know. If people honestly, people genuinely think that getting 87 in 10 seasons is acceptable. I don't. But if you do, that's your opinion, innit? You know what I'm trying to say. Guys, before we wrap it up, man, we're gonna just discuss. I want to ask TM, man, what he thinks of the signings and the season ahead for United. and where you think we go in the future, bro. So yeah, what do you think in terms of what we've done in this window, and what can you see for United moving forwards?
With the window itself, so far I think it's been good because we've this is the one window where I can say we've addressed the midfield, because I've been a big advocate for addressing the midfield of getting young, hungry footballers that just want to be at the club, in it. And by getting players like your Andre Santos's, who, all right, cool, he's not a lavish name in terms of like a Tonali or an Anderson, but he's a player that he's got a good ceiling and he is a good footballer by what we've seen of him at Chelsea a bit and Strasbourg as well. The Yuri Tiedemann signing, that's a brilliant signing. I don't care what anyone tells me. For 35 million, you can't argue with that, because it's a steal, and he's proven coming off a very good season at Aston Villa, getting them Champions League again, winning the Europa League, scoring in that as well. So, bro, I'm happy with that. Obviously, the Baleba thing hasn't officially finished yet, but I think we get that over the line. But, I mean, if we get a left back as well, cool. But with what we've done with those two signings, and then getting an extra backup keeper in Cardano, I think it's all right. I think I can't complain, because it's like, if you ask me right now, what else do we need? We're not short of attackers. Cool, you can maybe say another midfielder, but I just don't think we're going to do that. Maybe a centre half, maybe, because De Ligt and Martinez are a bit unreliable in terms of availability, but I think we're all right. I would say maybe another fullback for maybe the right side as well, but you've got 2 right backs already, so it's like, I think we'll be all right to go. But if you get Baleba done and a left back, I think we're all right. I think we're okay.
Yeah. Who do you want at left back? Is it Lewis Hall or someone else you're looking at?
Lewis Hall, man, that's my guy, man. I think, you go get him. If Newcastle are trying to do this hardball thing in terms of price us out, then cool, move on. Maybe you go get David Raya at RB Leipzig. I think that's a relatively cheap deal where you could just pay his release clause. I'm seeing like maybe 20 million, or if it's a loan with an obligation to buy, you go get that done, because that'll be an easy deal. He's 28. He's more athletic in terms of he can get up and down on the pitch. He's more known for his attacking game in terms of crossing and bombing forward, but he knows Sesko as well, so there's a bit of a relationship there in terms of he can connect the ball to him. I'm seeing that we're also linked with that Spanish left back. I forgot his name, but he's meant to be.
The young one?
Yes, yeah.
I forgot his name. I know you're talking about that. Yeah,
but he's meant to be really good as well, because Barcelona are looking at him as well. So if we can get the right profile, I'm all here for it. I just rather something for the left back than nothing in it. It's like we've got this week and next week of the window, so it's better to get a body and then nothing in it, and then we can make the judgment on who we see. But I'm all right with the window. I think the attack, I don't think anyone's got a better attack than me. That's Bar City. Why should I be afraid of anyone else's attack, really? Midfield, cool, Arsenal got that, but
Bro, the funny thing is that you say City, because for me, Semenyo's shit, Doku's slightly better.
He got 5 goals, last season, They'll tell me best player in the league. 5 goals.
But bro, I'm trying to tell you, man, like, it's an absolute joke. You know, Marmoush and Savinho are in talks with Tottenham.
Yeah.
So again, if they lose those two, just for numbers, their team's weak. But the only thing I would say, City, when they're losing 2 players, because what I see today, they're linked to Adam Wharton. They're looking at bringing in Adam Wharton and Buwadi, with the loss of Rodri. And you're damn right if they get rid of Savinho and get rid of Marmoush, they've got something lined up. The only problem is, I don't know who they've got lined up, but they're not going to go through this season with having just Haaland and no one that can back him up. So and losing Savinho as well. So as I said, man, I think they're gonna do something, man. But
they always
listen,
they always got something up their sleeve, innit? It's just annoying.
100, man. But I think, to be fair, man, like,
how do you think on this window?
Yeah, bro, listen, I said it earlier, man. The fact that we've got Santos, Tillemans, and Baleba's coming through the door, man. I mean, just the business that we've done so far, it cannot be underestimated, because I look at how much some of these teams have spent, and again, it can't be overlooked, man, because I didn't see us coming into this window, especially with Santos and Tillemans, and it's music to my ears to see what we're trying to do, innit? I come in the window at 5 players minimum. I'm not counting Carl Darlow, to be honest with you. Yeah, I ain't counting him. But we've got, if Baleba comes, we've got 3 in it. Yeah, and I think the Baleba one does happen. And I still need 2 more. And the positions that we're looking at, I know you mentioned earlier about Lisandro Martinez. Yeah. The reason why I'd get rid of Lisandro, is I've said this for a long time now. The very fact that Aiden Heaven, is obviously he's left-footed as well, but the fact that Aiden Heaven is quicker than him, which helps in the wide areas. You know, if you've got quick fullbacks, quick wingers, and your fullbacks are high up the pitch, you know, you need someone reliable at the back there that has pace. So Heaven has that over him. Physicality as well, Heaven has that over him also. Then you think of on the ball, which Lisandro is known for. Heaven's got that. The only thing that Lisandro has over Heaven is the experience. But again, the more games Heaven plays, he'll naturally get that.
Yeah.
Lisandro's contract is as well. I believe he's got one or 2 years left. So he's going to be asking for a pay rise. Again, you cannot give him a pay rise because he's injury prone. And the fact that Heaven offers what he does and more, what's the point of keeping him, really? Yeah. So, but the only problem is, I don't know if United go and get another centre back, because I think
that's the only thing.
I don't see them going for a left back and a centre back. It's got to be one or the other, and I think they're looking at left back. In terms of left back, myself, I would like to see Patrick Dorgu there, because I said this from early. I look at Patrick Dorgu as our answer to Alphonso Davies in terms of his physicality and his pace. And if we're pushing the fullbacks high up the pitch, I would love to see Dorgu being used like that. But as we can see in pre-season, Carrick likes to use Dorgu further forward because of the aggressive press that United are doing. And because he's aggressive, it helps win the ball back high up the pitch. You know what I'm trying to say? So just based on the left back, I mean, Lewis Hall's a no-brainer. I just don't think we can get Lewis Hall, because I think he'll either get priced out or you know, Newcastle will just say, look, it's just not for sale at any price, and no matter what United might offer. That's what I'm looking at. David Raum makes sense because, again, he's experienced. He's not my number one choice, but I'm just looking at, well, who else is there? Malik Diouf, I was looking at start of the season, but
Diouf he's more of a wing back, you know, a little bit.
He's more of a wing back, so I don't know if that's good.
Robinson at Fulham,
and then
Anthony Robinson at Fulham.
You know what? Someone asked me this earlier today. I don't really want Robinson because I want my left back to be more cultured. If I'm honest, Robinson is more of a Robinson's more of an athlete, and we've got someone like Patrick Dorgu for that anyway. For me, you know. And again, I look at what's his face? That Joaquin Says from Club Brugge. I like him. I even when I done the World Cup previews before, I spoke about him.
Yes.
The only thing I'll say about him is that Man United are probably going to be bringing in the left back that starts straight away. You know what I'm trying to say? So again, it's one of them things where if you're going to bring in a left back, they have to be ready to come in and start ahead of Luke Shaw. So I think the Joaquin Says one, because he's playing for Club Brugge, it's not telling me that they're going to bring him in and start him straight away. That's the only thing I would say. If he was the one that's going to come in and start straight away, I would like to see someone like him. If it means we're not going to play Dorgu there, you know, Lewis Skelly. I thought, you know what I mean, left-footed central midfield, left back makes sense, but I don't see that happening no more, especially with Baleba. So yeah, man. I think the best thing is that Ineos know what they're doing. So whoever they bring in, they're gonna, you know, do their homework and think, this will be the best player for the job. You know what I'm trying to say?
100%.
And again, I look at elsewhere in the team. Rashford's staying, so I don't see us improving that position.
No,
if he's gonna play Mbeumo, if he's gonna play Mbeumo as a striker, then you're probably better off having Dorgu and Ahmad battle out for the right. Even though I want to see Ahmad play more central, So I'm looking at probably 1 or 2 more signings, but I think everything points towards, again, if Baleba gets over the line, a left back. You know, I wouldn't mind 2 central midfielders and a left back, or a left back and left centre back. Yeah. But I think left back is definitely something that we might do something on, and obviously the midfield as well, isn't it? So
yeah, left back would be like the primary thing we need right now, innit? I feel like we've sent us because we got quite a few numbers there, like Maguire's still there, Euro Heaven, De Ligt and Martinez. The only 2 that are questionable are De Ligt and Martinez because they're just injury prone. It's not like De Ligt, he's a very good centre half, I feel. Martinez,
I think he's our best defender, personally.
I said that, yeah. Before he got injured, he was playing as our best defender, and then he just got injured. Yeah. But with Martinez, I can't stand him. I'll be honest. I would get rid of him now.
What's the worst thing you hate about him?
So many. I think he's overrated in terms of his defending. When I'm seeing Aiden Heaven and what he does, he just looks more polished. I feel Martinez, he's not athletic. He's not as strong as what people think. I think for a centre back, if someone tells me your best trait is ball playing, the first thing, I'm not listening, because as a defender, you need to be able to defend and read the game. He doesn't do that well to a level. I've seen Martinez get skinned by so many strikers, not even top tier ones. I'm talking about Chris Wood, Ivan Toney when he was at Brentford. Those type of, like, he always gets picked out. People think it's Maguire. He gets picked out, and then he just does. He cost us in silly games, like the Leeds game. He got sent off it in that because he couldn't handle Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Like, so many times, and he costs and he does silly things. But people tell me, oh, he can ping a 30-yarder. It's like, how many times does he do that per game? Can you keep a clean sheet? But it's like, with him, he will miss like 30% of the, or 40% of the season, and then he's having to play catch up. I'd get rid of him. I'll be so honest. I think he's mad overrated.
Yeah, no, but I'm with it, man. I'm with it. I just don't know if we. Well, personally, I just can't see United doing any business there.
Yeah,
but like, I think the worst thing, about I think the worst thing about Lisandro with these fans, is that it's very clear to me why a lot of these fans are invested in Lisandro. It's because he's a passion merchant. That is all it is, really.
Because he does the aggression thing, the passion thing, the fights for the badge. It's like, bro, I'm not even trying to see that no more.
These fans are just in love with the badge, like fighting for the badge. Like, fighting for the badge don't win you anything. It doesn't. It doesn't. No. It's just passion.
Every player's got fight in them.
And I look at Lisandro, and fans are invested in him for so long because he's a passion merchant. Because if he wasn't a passion merchant and he was injured as much as he was, these fans would have given up on him long time ago. Yeah, you know. So I'm definitely with you on that one. It's just that I just don't know if United act on that position. I think 100%. They're looking at midfield and left back. I think so. Yeah,
man. If you can get a centre back on a loan, I'd get it just to add on in it. Because if it's a
who's that? Sorry.
Like, if you could have get a centre back, like let's say it's Murillo, for example, I'd bring him in it. He would be relatively good. Ezri Konsa, I'm really annoyed by that one. That one, we could have nabbed that one because he's a good centre half. I like.
Well, the thing is, you mentioned Murillo. Yeah, Murillo was my first choice, and then he signed a new contract. Yeah, he's my first choice because I just see something in him. And again, he was linked to Chelsea as well. Yes, and then he signed a new contract. And because I said if you can get rid of Lisandro and bring in Murillo and him, I think are a similar height. Yeah, but Murillo's quicker, he's stronger, you know, and he's as good on the ball, and he can dribble from deep as well. So he offered all the same things that Lisandro has and more, just like Heaven. But then when he signed a new contract, I thought, okay, that means they're not really looking at that in that direction. So yeah, I think he's one. Dalot as well.
Yeah, Schlotterbeck would have been another choice, but he signed a new deal at Borussia Dortmund, so that's cuts out as well.
Yeah. People were talking about Schlotterbeck before, but he'd have been a good option. But he signed a new contract. Dalot, I think Mazraoui for me, it can be interesting because I wonder if Mazraoui has spoken to Carrick to see where he stands, isn't it? Because the thing with Mazraoui, Mazraoui can easily leave and go be first choice elsewhere.
Yeah, you could, maybe on different levels. Yeah.
But I think, Dalot, for some reason, Carrick does like him, and I would move him on. I'll move him on, but I just don't think that's going to happen.
Because he's one of the senior players and been there for so long. I just don't think like we'll get rid of him now. Maybe next summer or something. But with Mazraoui, the good thing with Maz is that he can cover like 3 positions. We've seen him play centre back, done it at the bridge, had a very good performance there. He can play left back as well. So I'd keep Maz because he can cover many positions in it. But if I wouldn't be surprised if he said, "Oh, I would want a different." If he'd want to maybe go Saudi or go Turkey or something, I wouldn't be shocked. Or just a different league, like maybe I don't know, Serie A or something. I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah. But, no, exactly, man. But I just don't think we're going to act on them positions. I think those positions there is probably going to be a January or a next season thing, innit? I think we've quite clearly looked at midfield and I think left back. So yeah, I want 2 more. I want, including Baleba, I want another 2 at 5 signings. But I think we might just do 4, man, if I'm honest.
Do you mind if I ask you, do you think we'll get a striker on loan or something on Xerxes?
No.
Because I haven't
for me, Xerxes not gonna go for me.
Yeah.
And the fact that we've got one sec. Wait, so Tottenham are spending, it looks like 150 mil on Savinho and Marmoush.
Oh my God.
Madness,
Where
isn't
they
it?
getting money from, but they got money.
Yeah, it's crazy. But all them concerts, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Literally, all of them concerts. I
remember Fitz saying that to me the other day, man. All those concerts, it's helping them out.
Yeah, they get both of them. Oh my
God. But just going back to what you said before I forget, So Xerxes for me is not going to leave, and we don't need a striker because you've got, as what Carrick's showing now, you've got Mbuemo, you've got Sesko, obviously Xerxes, you've got Cunha and Rashford that can all play through the middle, and not to mention there ain't that caliber of striker out there that is, someone that you would say he's a must. People were saying about Endrick. Obviously, Endrick staying at Real Madrid. And he could be a possibility, even though I don't rate Endrick as high as I once did. But there's no strikers out there that are realistic anyway to get that are top class. So I'm happy in that sense, innit? You know what I mean? With what we're doing. But yeah, things are looking up, man. Just need to confirm this signing.
Confirm that, and then we'll wait and see. There's still time left in it, so I'm not worried with my club in it. Like, I know my team are better than a lot of these teams in the league. If it ain't Arsenal and City to a degree, I don't want to hear no chat from no other team. Like, if you're playing 1 game a week as well, like, I don't want to hear it. Because remember, we had to endure that as well. But other teams are watching my team play European football, so enjoy. It's like
100. Let's go through some of these questions before we wrap it up. What, Malik Diouf went to Brentford? Did he?
From West Ham? I didn't know
that. Let me check this. I didn't even know that.
I didn't even know that. I would have heard about it.
Malik Diouf. Brentford. Let me see.
Oh yeah, apparently he's near.
Oh wait, so it's saying they're on the verge of finalizing. So it's not happened yet.
Yeah, it's not happened yet.
They're looking at signing for 40 mil.
Yeah, 40 million. Yeah.
Okay, listen, man. That's again. He's not signed yet. Jeremy he ain't signed yet, but he's on the verge, man. Okay, that's so obviously that's one out the window then. But again, he's more of a wing back, so
he's a wing back.
He'll suit Brentford, to be fair.
Definitely.
Yeah. Gav, mate, you've been wanting Baleba, had 1 good season, then was being replaced by James Milner. Loads of potential. Boy's a proper chunk and can split open the team in seconds too. Listen, I told you, man, we were definitely signing Baleba. I said it from the start, man.
One of my friends
very good information. So
trying to tell me as well that Baleba was happening as well. So
yeah.
I just wanted to wait. Like, that's the main thing in it. But it will get.
Bro, I want Camavinga still. But
you want Camavinga?
Bro, listen, I've
he's a baller. I'm happy, bro.
When he first came through, man. Yeah, but
do you prefer him or Tchouaméni?
Camavinga.
Yeah.
Camavinga, bro. I've watched Camavinga's career when he first came through at Rennes. The guy broke through at 15.
Yeah.
And then Rennes gave him number 10 shirt when he was just bossing midfields. He was bossing PSG's midfield when PSG were the dominant team, and then off the back of that, he got the move to Real Madrid. But United were linked to him first for 30 mil. and he went to Real Madrid, and rest is history. And
it's not even Caicedo. We were linked to him early. We could have got him for like 5 million, and we didn't do it.
Bro, less than that. I think it was like 1 mil or something like that.
Yeah, 1 million, maybe. Yeah, even that. Yeah,
it's just annoying, man. But I mean, if we can still pull off Camavinga, which I think is unlikely, then listen, man. I'll be doing a stream for the ages. I can't even lie. I can't even lie. I probably won't even log off, man. You know what I mean?
I hear you, bro. So, I'll definitely jump on it anyway.
Yeah, man. Trust me. It'll be good, man. Big up to Ho says, "Oh, Gav, I see who you are saying is the staunch Bruno and Dallo supporter." Nah, listen, he's not Dallo, man. It's Mbeumo, man. Mbeumo. It's Rashford. But listen, it's good to have different opinions, isn't it? Because when people see things a different way, it's always good to kind of get a different angle and see whether we can see both points. And I can definitely see TM's point on Bruno. Like I can definitely see why he likes Bruno, but I'm just of the opinion that one, numbers can be replaced, by other players in the team collectively, and two, the way that we're playing, it doesn't really suit what Bruno wants to do. And if Bruno wanted to adapt his game, which again, you don't really adapt your game at 32 years of age.
No, you don't.
It's like you can see, but again, he's not going to do that. And my point is the way that we're going with what we're signing, Bruno doesn't really figure in that. So, but yeah, listen, man, it is what it is, isn't it? So now, what's this? So their bid has been accepted from. No, it's not. I don't think it's been accepted yet. But I think they're on the verge, man. I'm actually shocked, to be fair, that City are looking to do that. Yeah, but what I will say, expect the next couple of days City to be busy in the market. I've got a feeling, Savio and Marmoush going. I can see City signing about 3 players in quick succession. I don't know why, because they can't lose Savio, Marmoush, Rodri, Bernardo Silva, and Pep, and John Stones, and just replace them with an overpriced Elliot Anderson, and then Boadi, as we know, is coming as well. I'll be very surprised because their squad all of a sudden is looking pretty thin. So I think they're going to do some serious business, man. So it's going to be interesting. Listen, exactly. Not just Camavinga. Caicedo, as we spoke about as well. So man. Last question before we wrap it up, guys. So what do you think of Amas? Apparently West Ham are looking at Amas on loan as a replacement for Juve when the deal goes through. Would you let him go on loan or keep him? Now listen, Amas ain't ready to be a first choice left back for Man United. I think everyone knows that. And you know what I'm trying to say? Luke Shaw's still here, nicking a living, really. The most expensive fullback in world football, might be of all time, And if we're going to be bringing in a left back or having a left back, they have to be ready to come in now, which is why it's been Lewis Hall's name all along. So, again, to keep Amas, what would be the point, really? I'd much rather bring in a Joaquin Says if he's going to be the long-term, in terms of competing, than keeping Amas. I think Amas, isn't good for Manchester United for where we want to go. So I'll definitely let him go in it. You know what I mean? And again, if like
a sell-on clause or something.
For a sell-on clause, And if he comes back and he proves himself for a different team, then it's gonna be one of them ones where we say, that's one that got away. But I definitely think United should be moving him on. He's not good enough to be a first choice, in a 38 game a season for Manchester United, man. So it is what it is, isn't it? But guys, listen, we're gonna wrap it up, man. But big up to all the mods for coming through. TMJ, bro, big up yourself for coming through, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, man.
Man. Really, bro, listen, definitely get you back on again, man.
100%, bro. I'm there, man. 100%. If I'm free, I'm there, man. So
appreciate it, man. And
season, man. Big up the chat, man.
Listen, man. Season starts Friday, innit? So we can start obviously seeing what United are on, innit? But guys, make sure, guys. I say after this stream's ended, I'm gonna put TMJ's link to his socials, bro. Just put me a message in it on Twitter, and I'll get the link in there for you. Yeah.
Cool.
So guys, make sure you go and follow TMJ on he's on Twitter, and I think he's gonna put his other socials in there as well. So make sure you go and follow him on there. And big up to all the newcomers that's coming through as well. And make sure, guys, you smash that like button. Obviously, when you hit that like button, it helps it get seen by more people. And as I said, if you're new as well, make sure you smash that like button. And guys, as I said, we got the Discord as well. So make sure you guys get involved in the Discord and let us know if you want to join the prediction for the season coming up. We're starting on. It's got to be in by Friday. So Fitz has just put it in now. So make sure that's a Discord there, guys. Yeah. So if you guys want to be part of the community, and get your predictions in for this season, then make sure you follow that link there. And man, listen, it's been a good stream, man. As I said to you, Bruno Fernandes, Marcus Rashford. We spoke about them. The defense league was out. But listen, man, it makes for good combo, innit? And that's the main thing. So
100%.
Yeah, man. But big up for coming through, man. Guys, as I said, what's tomorrow? Thursday. I might react tomorrow if there's any breaking news, any signings. Hopefully the Baleba one gets over the line. If it does, I probably might be live, or I might do an upload. I'm not sure yet. But on Saturday, me and Fitz are gonna resume our all-time 11. So we're going to be going back to Arsenal. So it's going to be from 95 till 2003.
Okay.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it all time, it's in a playlist. So literally, it's all the top major clubs in Europe. We also done the national team as well. So it's just obviously players from that period. We got to devise a lineup and a formation. It's a headache. But it's good, man. So if there's anyone that wants to jump on one time as well, just let me know, man. It'd be good to get some more votes in there as well, innit? So so we're gonna be there Saturday at 1:00 for that. So it'd be Arsenal. And as I said, come the start of the season, guys. So probably from Monday, it's gonna be more structure. So Mondays are gonna be, as I said, it's gonna be Northwest Divide. Myself, Fitz, and Liverpool fan Jonas at 8:00. Sorry, at 5:00. Tuesday is going to be either myself and Clockenders. That'll be either Tuesday or Wednesday. So Devil and the Gunner. We're going to get that started from next week, and then Wednesday or Tuesday will be the Devil's Advocate, where I react to the most important points. Thursday, me and Fitz, pure Man United talk on that one. Again, if people do want to jump on, if you're a Man United fan, just let me know as well. And then obviously the Saturday will be the all-time 11 that we do. So listen, there is some things coming out, guys. And also on every other Saturday, I'll be doing some content myself. So I'll be doing some skills and some drills and putting it up on my members page as well. So listen, if you want to view some of them, there's some stuff in there now on my members section. So make sure you become a member if you want to see what else is on offer in there. And as I said, man, definitely get TMJ back on. Let's see what happens in this season, man, because things are looking up, man. That's all I'm gonna say, man. Definitely. So man, it should be good. But guys, other than that, big up to yourselves each and every time. Smash that like on the way out. Make sure you sub to the channel. Go and follow TMJ as well, which I'll put in after I finish. Man, we'll catch you guys for the next one. Big up, bro. Big up for coming on, man.
Safe, bro. My God.
Cool, man. Take it easy, yeah?
You too.
Cool.
Cool.